It is Tuesday, January 13th. It is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert, that is SP3. I'm once again coming through a remote location. That is why I look more red than usual. It could also be because, I was a dancing queen yesterday, and that took a lot out of me as well. SP3, how are you doing on this Tuesday morning?
I hear he's only 17. Oh yeah. I am doing well on this Tuesday morning. Glad to be here. Glad to be here after a longer weekend where I wasn't on anything since Saturday. So I'm feeling
Uh,
refreshed. Haven't done any type of content in the last couple of days, which is rare for me. So feeling refreshed here to talk some wrestling. We got some wrestling news to discuss with apparently WrestleMania plans being scrapped. Thank God. I complained enough, and we're not going to have to see Roman versus Cody 3. Hopefully, we could take it. We'll take it with a grain of salt, but hopefully, it's right that we don't have to see that come April. We're going to talk some Monday Night Raw, which was at a convenient time for me here in the UK. It came on at 7 p.m. and it was done by 9:30 p.m. So I was able to spend the rest of the night with my family without worrying about being up till 3 something a.m. in the morning. So that was sweet. We're also going to discuss some NBA talk. It's been a couple of days since we talked some NBA. We did talk the Trey Young trade, but we got to talk John Morant being potentially trade, Cooper Flag making history, and everything else in between, and whatever else comes to mind. And we got an interview on today's show, so that's nice.
Ikuro Kwon from MLW. He's been on the show before. I think he's been on at least once, maybe twice. My memory is not good with these things, but he's definitely been on before. He is scheduled to join us at 11 a.m. MLW has their Battle Riot show coming up in Florida. So Ikuro Kwon is going to join us to talk about Battle Riot on January 29th in Florida. So it should be fun chatting with him. He's a good guy. He's a fellow New Yorker. SV3. So, you guys can chat about New York.
You didn't have me on to talk to the other New Yorker, so I might as well be here for this one. Appreciate it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, I told you. I told you. No, I was happy for you. I am. It's great you guys were able to talk to him. I would just hold this against you for the rest of 2026. So only 11 more months to go.
That's fair. Honestly, that's fair. Guys, if you're here, leave a thumbs up on the video. That helps us out. Maybe the fireworks will work. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's in a remote location. They're like, you know what? We aren't working for you today. There's a subliminal
Hey,
messaging.
there you go.
Come on. What are we doing here?
Maybe you don't have him high enough.
I don't know. Am I gonna force? There we go.
There
Okay.
we go. See, I told you. You just had to raise it up a bit.
All right, there we got it. All right. So, leave a thumbs up on the video. Leave a super chat. Get your question, comment, statement read on the air. Subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Spotify, iTunes, all of that fun stuff. You can leave a super chat like Volub says, shout out to my champ Hiroki Goto for goading Shingo Takagi into popping the question to Natsupoi. Yeah, they got married. That was revealed by Tokyo Sports yesterday. Good for them. We love
Yeah.
on this show. So good for Shingo and Natsupoi that they are happily married and hopefully it lasts a lifetime.
Two of the best wrestlers in the world are in love. That's a sweet thing, and it's hilarious that it came off the heels of a whole program that he did with Hiroki Goto that was about him being jealous of Goto having a faction, having a wife, having kids, and him being alone and single after the breakup of Los Ingonables de Japón. And then right after their matchup at Dominion, he says, "Let me go ask my girlfriend to get married." He was dead. He was dead serious in those post-match comments when he was saying, "I need to find me a beautiful wife." He had one. He had one stored up. But yeah, very very sweet. Great pictures of the two following their marriage. And Shingo Takagi said he's going to be doing a press conference to talk about the marriage with Natsupoi as well. And if you know anything about Japanese pro wrestling, these are two of the best that there is. Shingo Takagi, still one of the greatest IWGP World Heavyweight Champions they've ever had, since that title no longer is a world championship. He is still one of the greatest. It's either him or Hiroki Goto. And Natsupoi, he's probably the best underdog babyface in all of Stardom. So great to see that love winning out overall, and Shingo is no longer alone.
We're not going to get into this topic just yet, but I'm going to put this as the poll question, SP3. So, Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Options are going to be Cody Rhodes, 3. I'm going to put CM Punk there. I'm going to put Bron Breakker. And SP3, you give me one more option for Roman Reigns, his match at WrestleMania. We're going to go just singles matches. I'm not going to try to do, triple threats, 4-ways, anything like that. But
so either Jacob Fatu or Drew McIntyre.
Okay, we'll do Drew since he's the champion right now. We'll do Drew. All right, that's the poll question for today. We'll say, who do you want to see? Who do you want Roman Reigns to face at WrestleMania? All right, we'll get into this topic a little bit later on the show. But as SP3 mentioned, we do have plenty to talk about. I am technically injured. I suffered a toe injury yesterday with my ballet dancing. SP3 has seen the video. Select people have seen the video. I cannot air it on the show. There are people who do not need to be on this show or on the internet for consumption out there. But I did do my ballet routine yesterday. We danced to Kelly Clarkson, Breakaway, right? Hold on. Yeah, Breakaway. I had to remember which Kelly Clarkson song it was. I'm a big fan of the Kelly Clarkson. You know, I
was a fan of her in American Idol season 1.
Well, the show peaked then. I mean, they found the best singer possible.
I'd say Ruben Stutter season. That was when it peaked for me. Had to see a black guy win.
That season was Clay Aiken was from North Carolina, and I lived in North Carolina at the time, so it was like a big to do around my area. But I mean, Kelly Clarkson's like a top tier singer.
Oh, she's the greatest winner of American Idol for sure.
Yeah. So she's dancing to Kelly Clarkson, Breakaway, and I didn't choose that song for her, but I played some Kelly Clarkson in the car. Last recital, she danced to Taylor Swift. So clearly my influence is taking over her dance recital routines. So yesterday was like take your parent to rehearsal, and like you could the parent could dance out there. And I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna say no to this. And the teachers are like, you don't have to do everything that she does. So she does like a cartwheel when she enters like the mat and everything. Like that's her like little tradition. She does a cartwheel on, cartwheel off, and she has a cartwheel in her routine, but it hasn't been like worked in yet. And so they're like, oh no, she doesn't have a cartwheel in the routine and everything. But she does it when she does on, and like as they're saying, oh, you don't have to do the cartwheel when she gets on the floor, I'm already mid cartwheel at that point. I'm like, no, I'm doing everything the kid's doing. And they praise me. They're like, oh, you know what? That was actually a pretty good cartwheel. I was like, yeah, I have some moves out here. And then they're going through. As you saw the routine, like,
yes.
I don't know what complicated is in ballet. To me, it seems like a lot to do all of that. Yeah. And this is the first time I've ever like seen it more than for like one go through and everything. And like, I'm trying to learn this whole thing. Obviously, like they're not expecting me to know the whole thing in a half hour, because that's how long the practice is. I like your Eric Cartman shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
So yeah, I don't know the whole routine, but they're like, oh, you don't have to do everything she's doing. There's like a drop down to the floor and a bunch of spins and all of this stuff, and they're like, yeah, you don't have to do everything she's doing. And I'm like, no, like I'm good, I got it. And she just goes, he does a lot of silly stuff, and I'm like, yeah. She knows. She's seen me jump off the playhouse and everything. So she knows. And the instructors are just laughing.
She's basically like, he's about this life.
Yeah. And the instructors are just laughing. They're like, okay, all right. Like, if you're gonna go for it, like they were, not to Barry Horowitz myself or anything, but they were like impressed with like the way I was committed to actually doing all of this. And I'm like, one thing about me is like, I'm gonna commit to the bit. If nothing else, I'm going to commit to this. And then, so here's like this I don't know, scary part of it. There's these another daughter and her mom are in there, and bless her mom, she's doing it as well, and we're like cheering each other on and everything, like, oh, great job and whatnot. And then like the next class starts to come in, because at first it's just like us. It's just me and the tiny one and this other daughter and her mom, and that's it. And the instructors. That's the only people in the building. And then my lovely wife comes to make fun of me. No, my lovely wife comes to just see how I'm doing and to take video and everything, and wants to just see what's going on here. But then like, and so early on, like, it's fine. But then with like 10 minutes to go, like the next class starts to come in, and it's like 15 to 20 people in here by this point. And the other mom and her daughter are like, they're doing it and everything, but they're like very happy to get off as like the other people are coming in. And so the instructors are like, are you guys okay with like all these people? Because they have this giant what's a, like, basically protector, like this giant like black screen that they can put up so like people can't see you practicing and everything. And they're like, do you want the protector up? And I'm like, I mean, a bunch of people watch me do a bunch of dumb stuff on my show every single day. So like, I'm not worried about these people out here watching me. And so like, as long as like she's okay with it, I'm okay with it. And of course, like my tiny one is, she doesn't care. She's a star. She's gonna be on the stage for her entire life. So she's like, yeah, I don't care. So we're doing this routine in like 15 to 20 people, and like, I'm not paying attention to them or anything, but like, I'm just going and everything. And at the end of it, she does her cartwheel off, and then I do the cartwheel to follow her, and the place claps. They're like, oh, that was so great. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. You guys, I should have thrown up the one, like, acknowledge me out here.
That's awesome.
It was a lot of fun though. It was a lot of fun. I did suffer a toe injury. I went to like go get groceries afterwards, and I'm walking on it and driving on it, and I'm like, oh, this is sore. And then I looked at it, and like the toenails like screwed up, and like it's bruised and everything. I was like, ooh, this sucks, but what can you do? But it was a lot of fun. I'm sorry that I can't release the video to anybody.
Okay.
Maybe I will, like, I'm not doing it today because too many people are, it's been a long night and everything, but maybe I will like do the routine at some point, and
oh boy,
on the show. Yeah. Maybe I'll do the routine at some point for everybody. But it was a lot of fun, and I appreciate you. What you said, I had 90s, I had white boy energy with 90s sitcom dad vibes, which I feel like that's an apt description of how I'm doing.
it's like you have the rhythm of a white man, but the dad abilities of a '90s sitcom.
Yeah.
I think that is the great balance for you.
Our pal Share Delaware said nice things about my routine as well. So it was fun. You know, all you can do is just be there for your kids and enjoy these
Absolutely.
moments with them. And like anytime they, you know, I've talked about the gymnastics routine that I've done with one of the kids as well, and you've seen that as well as we do. Like anytime that like they have bring your parent to your class and let them do it, I'm all in on that stuff. You know, again, as the tiny one told the instructors, like he does a lot of silly stuff. He'll do it. It might not look good. It might not feel good for me a few minutes later, but like I'm in it. I'm willing to go out there and do it if nothing else.
You go the additional mile, and that's what makes you a great dad, sir.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So there you go, everybody. That is the update again on my toe, which I'm working hurt, and also maybe explains why I'm a little red. Basketball talk, SP3. I know you like.
Oh, I wanted to ask before we
Okay.
go to
Yeah.
basketball talk.
Yeah.
I know we've been through like holidays, like Christmas, New Year's, but I haven't asked in like I think 3, 4 weeks, maybe a month. How far along are you with Atlanta?
Oh, so because everyone got sick and traveling and everything, I don't remember. It's been like 3 weeks since I watched an episode, and I legitimately don't remember the last episode I watched. I need to catch up, get back on it because I'm on the last season. Like I'm on. There's no point in like stopping now, and I probably only have like 5 or 6 episodes left. But yeah, I need to get back on it but yeah, with traveling, with everybody getting sick, with me not sleeping well, and sports are on late. You know, this was always going to happen with the late night sports and
Yeah.
everything. This was always going to take a hit. I will get on that. I know Traders started as well, and I've got to jump on that and start doing my weekly watches of that. At least that's only once a week, which is good.
Since
So
you
so
have
yeah.
VPN, I would suggest watching the UK traders because oh my god, I haven't even started the US traders because I don't think it comes out here until February, and I need to re up my VPN if I want to watch the US traders before then. But I might not. I might just wait till February because the UK traders is so much better. I'm sorry to say that for US fans. UK traders is so much better. Oh my god, it's been like the talk of the town. Like it's been getting like record ratings on BBC because it's civilian people. Like it's not the celebrities of the US one. They did a celebrity traders, which was awesome as well. But the UK traders, oh my god, the whole secret trader twist that they added, that was great. Great payoff. You had the traders going at it with one another. It's so good. The UK traders, it trumps the US traders by far to me.
I have not watched the UK stuff, but I know you've talked about it. I've seen other people talk about the UK traders as well. I think the whole thing is up on Peacock like after the series,
Yeah.
so I'll probably end up watching it then. I don't know if I'll VPN it and go through, but we'll see. We'll see. I got to get through too much other stuff. First Atlanta, and then yeah, I'll get started on the US traders after that. All right. I know you want to talk about the John Morant stuff. We'll talk about the John Morant stuff, but I do have to ask you about sort of the Lakers. I mean, it's definitely about the Lakers. I don't care that they're losing games. Whatever. Teams are losing games right now. The Thunder are going to lose to the Spurs tonight. It's going to be very sad. We're going to be 0-4 against them. Rich Paul is doing a podcast, and he's effectively saying, for those that don't know Rich Paul, he runs Clutch. He's LeBron James. Clutch is LeBron James management and everything. And Rich Paul's doing this podcast, and he's saying the Lakers should trade Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson Jr. This doesn't seem like a good idea, SP3, that you have a high profile and very powerful agent saying, hey, the team where my client is high profile and very powerful should trade one of their star players to another team to get help elsewhere. Like, it's fine if you want to say, yeah, I think the Lakers should, like, look into Jaren Jackson or whatever. I don't think this is like great speak for an agent. I don't know why. I mean, I know why that he's like doing this podcast and everything. But yeah, I don't know why he's saying, let's trade Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson Jr. Your thoughts on this as a Lakers fan, SP3?
My thoughts are Rich Paul's an idiot. He's been an idiot for a very long time, and he is nothing more than a mindless puppet for LeBron James. So he is telling us what LeBron James' thoughts are. When me, myself, an avid Laker fan, way longer Laker fan than a lot of LeBron fans who just jumped on the bandwagon when he came on board in 2018, I will let y'all know LeBron James is the issue with the Los Angeles Lakers. It's all a trickle-down effect. When one of your best players shows no effort on one side of the court, and then barely enough effort some games on the other side of the court, it has a trickle-down effect. Luka and Reeves as our top two players, we were on a much better rhythm. We were playing well on both sides of the court, a whole lot better, because Reeves, regardless of how LeBron or Luka plays on the defensive end, you can never deny that Austin Reeves puts in effort on both sides of the court, because he's a guy that started really from the bottom. He was a undrafted free agent rookie, and he comes into the Lakers and he had to earn every single minute that he's gotten with the Los Angeles Lakers. I think that that's as foolish as the Lakers even thinking about trading Luka is trading Austin Reeves, especially after the start of the season that he had, and he's been injured for the last couple of weeks. When he comes back, I think that the Lakers will be playing much better, because one of your star players is going to put that effort on the defensive end, even if he's not the best defender. But he has an effect on LeBron I've seen in the past, in the last couple of seasons, and with Luka that we've seen in the early part of the season, that his effort will basically rub off on those two. So I think that will be fine right there. But Rich Paul, please shut up. Please shut up. We don't care what your opinion are. We don't care who you want. The fact that you are acting for Triple J, the fact that the Memphis Grizzlies are thinking about building their team around Triple J, I don't know what's more stupid. What's more stupid is trying to trade a bona fide all-star this year in Austin Reeves for Triple J, or building your whole franchise around Triple J. So Rich Paul and the Memphis Grizzlies are both idiots. That's what I think.
I don't think Jaren Jackson is like a bad player for the Lakers to target. Great defensive player, former defensive player of the year, very good offensive player, especially if he's going to be next to, let's say it is Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson Jr. If he's going to be next to LeBron and Luka, like, he's going to be good offensively. I've said it before. I don't love the 3-guard effectively lineup with the Lakers. I think it leaves them exposed too much in other areas, especially on the defensive end. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. becomes a better fit as next to LeBron and Luka compared to Austin Reeves. This takes nothing away from Austin Reeves as an individual player, because I do think as an individual player, he's great. It's just LeBron and Luka are going to get the ball more often than Reeves, and so you're kind of limiting Reeves in that aspect. Jaren Jackson Jr. can make more of an impact as a defensive player and as a third option than Austin Reeves can. That all said, to have Rich Paul saying this and effectively being a mouthpiece for LeBron doesn't seem like the greatest way to build chemistry for a team. And I've said this to Sammer, and I'll say it out here now. I think there's a little bit of jealousy from LeBron because Luka and Austin Reeves have they've become very close in a short period of time. You watch them on the court, they're joking around. You watch them in post-game interviews, they're playing around with each other and being sarcastic. There's that story that like Reeves was invited over to like Luca's house, and they did bowling because of course these athletes have bowling alleys in their houses and everything, and like had dinner and talked about stuff. Like it seems like they developed a very close relationship, and LeBron is kind of like the odd man out in that scenario. Yeah. And I don't think he's ever been the odd man out. Like him and Wade were very close. Him and Kevin Love were very. Kyrie was the odd man out in that situation. That's why he went out. Him and Love were very close. Him and Anthony Davis were very close. And now he is the third guy there. It is Luka and Reeves who have become close, and now LeBron is Chris Bosh or Kyrie Irving, to where, I'm not the guy who is the loved one here. And LeBron is also no longer the best player on the team. And, that
he's not the second best player on the team anymore either.
As a guy who's always been the best player on a team, that can be a tough pill to swallow. Like, I'm not going to pretend like that's an easy transition for LeBron. And LeBron's not a guy that deals with that stuff very well. So I can see where this is tough for him. That said, he probably shouldn't be running to his agent to say, float out this trade idea on a podcast and see what happens. Probably not going to end too well. Well, we know LeBron's got a lot of power with the Lakers. I mean, he got JJ Redick hired. He got his son drafted. I don't think any worse of him for getting his son. Is a 55th overall pick.
He forced the AD trade.
Anthony Davis. I mean, Anthony Davis wanted to come to LA. That was a Rich Paul move.
Oh no, it was all Rich Paul. It's all a scheme by Rich Paul and LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
but it was LeBron who pushed that with the Laker end, and he pushed for the Russell Westbrook trade as well.
He did push for the Russell. He takes no culpability in that. He makes it seem like that was everybody else's fault. But
he'll take culpability in the Anthony Davis of it all, and he has done that on his podcast in the past. But he's done all these trades. He's gotten his son drafted. He got JJ Redick as the head coach. Enough. I'm at the point where I'm just like, I kind of am done. I'm over this. I think at the off season, if he is not going to retire, then we just need to send him to Cleveland for his final year. Let him retire with the team that he started off his career with. Let him retire in his hometown. Just send him over there. Maybe we can get Jared. Maybe Cleveland is dumb enough to give us like Jared Allen or somebody. I don't know, but we just need to let LeBron go. I know he only has 1 year left on his deal, and he can just go elsewhere anyway. So if he's going to have a 24th year, he wants to set the record and end off his career on the number that Kobe Bryant ended his career with, 24 years for number 24 Kobe Bryant. Do it on another team. Don't do it on the Los Angeles Lakers, because the effort he has shown on defense, the effort he has shown on boxing out his defender, the person he's supposed to be guarding, it's not good. It's not good. And just him coming back to the team has just eroded all of the chemistry that we had built up in the early portion of the season. And we're one of the most inconsistent top 5 teams that I've seen in the Western Conference, maybe ever.
I don't know who's going to trade for LeBron is the thing.
No one's going to trade for LeBron.
Yeah, because you're getting him for probably 1 season. And I mean, he's a free agent at the end of this year.
Yeah.
So why would you give up assets for a guy that kind of kills your cap this year and you can just get in the offseason if you really want him that bad? And again, you're only getting him for him doing the patch. I'm sure you saw that. Like he's wearing like the 23 patch and everything. And like him doing that now makes it seem like, oh, did he hand in his 2 weeks notice? And this is actually a retirement tour that no one knew about until just now. So like, you're not going to get fair value for him because you have to trade. He has such a big contract. Like you have to trade a big contract to
Yeah,
get
I
him.
like I didn't just say trade him. I said just let him go in the offseason. Then we just need to
Oh,
wait out
sure.
this year. He just needs to be on the team this year. He only has 1 year left. Just let him go in the offseason. Let him go to Cleveland, end off his career there. Whatever he wants to do. If he wants to do a 24th year, he said he doesn't want to do a retirement tour. So
He's
maybe
lying.
this is it for him. I know he's lying. He's an
Yeah, we know.
egomaniac.
We
Of
all
course
know
he's
he's lying. He's LeBron. He's lying. He
yeah,
wants a retirement tour. He wants the love
absolutely.
and the adulation. He 100% does that, and that's why I think like it'll be next season where he's done. Where he goes, I don't know. Like, does he go to Cleveland on a not a minimum deal, but on a very friendly deal because he's made his money. You know, like
Yeah.
I completely understand. Hey, I'm a millionaire. I'd like to be a billionaire mindset. I get that. I mean, he's kind of a billionaire. I'd like to be a twice billionaire mindset. I completely understand that. At the same time, like,
Multi-billionaire.
yeah, like you've made your money. So do you really need to get 20 million in a season? Like, I feel like you'd be okay with just 10 million, and you can, especially doing the retirement tour and everything. That team though, that was a bad loss last night to the Kings. It wasn't great
Thanks.
to them. Oh, we're gonna lose to the Spurs tonight. That's okay. We're gonna be 0-4 against them.
I'm not gonna be here to be like that was a bad loss to the Spurs last night.
I want them to turn it around. I want them to be competitive. It's more fun when
We
when
got
they're
we got to make one of
competitive.
these trades. I suggested either Herb Jones or Jalen Smith from the Bulls. One of those defender who can also kind of stretch the floor. So I would like Jalen Smith more than Herb Jones, but it's like a wish and a prayer. It's not gonna definitely it's with the way the Lakers have been moving the last couple of seasons. Ever since that big moves that we made in the trade deadline in 2023, we haven't barely been very active during the trade deadline the last couple of seasons. So I don't see it happening this season.
They should trade. Hear me out. They should trade for Russell Westbrook. And I
No,
say
thank
this:
no, thank you. Moving on. Um,
who does Russ play great against? Former teams and Kevin Durant. Who are you gonna have to beat if you want to make the finals? Kevin Durant, OKC, Denver. You need Russell Westbrook.
No, all of us are gonna have to be one Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs.
I mean, the Timberwolves might take care of that. So Timberwolves just beat them the other night. Every team can beat the Spurs except for the Thunder. It's the only team that can't because Wemby sees Chet and he's
The
like,
Lakers can't beat the Spurs either.
they beat him earlier in the season.
Yeah, we did, but the last
Yeah,
two games we've got demolished because Wemby's come off the bench.
yeah. Wemby coming off the bench is a cheat code. I told you that. Like now that he's in the starting lineup, they're now flawed. Oh, you
Mhm.
know, they him coming off the bench is where they really need to keep utilizing him at. What if they traded for Ja Morant? His name is out there, and
No,
seems like
thank you.
the Bucks
I
might
said
be
I said we need
interested.
defense though. I did state that. I clearly stated we need defense.
I know. I was just transitioning into Ja Morant trade talk. That's all.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I don't think the Lakers are actually going after Ja Morant. Like who I just said like their three guard thing isn't great and I don't think it fits all that well. What are you going to do? Add another guard to that? That doesn't make a ton of sense. So, no, I was just trying to transition into Ja Morant trade talk. I think the Bucks have been rumored, the Rockets have been rumored. Uh I don't know. What do you see with Ja? Like does he fit anywhere? What are you giving up to get him? What do you think?
I think that the trade market for John Moran has drastically changed after the Trey Young trade because they traded Trey Young for a hot dog and a handshake. I don't see this going quite well for the Memphis Grizzlies to get a big return. I think they would be wise if they got some type of draft capital, because that was my big thing with the whole Trae Young trade is how do you trade Trae without getting any type of draft pick, even if it's a second rounder. I would have took any type of draft capital. But Ja Morant, I don't see how you're going to get a better package than what Trae Young just gets. Yes, he's played a little bit more than Trae this season, and maybe he goes to a team that isn't looking to basically lose the rest of their game so they can keep their draft pick like the Washington Wizards, but I don't see them getting any type of like good player that's going to help them this year. They're basically just going to be losing out the rest of the year after they trade Ja, because they are basically just a play-in team with Ja. So without Ja, I expect them to be worse.
I think the Bucks are going to ultimately go after him. I think that's a team that clearly is trying to appease Giannis, rightfully so. Mind you, you should do what you can to keep your superstar player happy and to keep him on the team. I don't know if this is the right move to actually do it, because I don't know. I mean, you add Ja Morant, who can't shoot from three. That's a team that actually shoots really well from three, believe it or not. Like I think they're second in the league in 3-point percentage, despite the fact that like Giannis doesn't take any threes. Ja wouldn't take any threes. I mean, Kevin Porter Jr. would be out. He shot well from three. Ryan Rollins would come off the bench or slide to shooting guard. He shot well from three. You're changing how the team plays with Ja. I don't know if it's the right move to help that team. It definitely feels like the move they make to try to help Giannis and try to show like, hey, we're serious about competing. We're not going to trade Giannis. We want to go after and again try to compete with the guy that we have. And Matthew saying Milwaukee has nothing to trade Memphis. Really fair. I also don't know like how much you're really giving up to get Ja anyway. Like, is there a better offer than a future first? And you'd have to put Kyle Kuzma in there just because of contract and everything. And then
And plus they are freaking still playing Damian Lillard.
yeah, you have to put Kuzma in there, and then probably like Kevin Porter Jr. to kind of replace Ja. Like, it's not a great offer. I'm not trying to pretend like it is, but is there a better offer out there? Like, what other team is going to go out there to make any type of offer for him? I don't know what his value is. As SP3 mentioned, like the Trae Young trade sort of set the market as for what the value is for these guys, because Trae Young, if nothing else, he was putting up numbers when he was playing, and you see a path of how he could help you win despite his defensive limitations when he was playing. Ja's declined physically to where I don't know what the path is with him. Like, he's without the explosiveness and the athleticism. Like, what is he? You know what I mean? Like, he's not a good 3-point shooter. He's not a good 3-point shooter.
Never been.
Yeah. He's a good playmaker, but not on the level of Trae Young. His shooting just overall isn't great. Like, he can't attack the rim like he used to at this point. And that was always the big thing with him is like, oh, he's going to get downhill, he's going to get to the rim, and he's going to finish through contact or make some type of like highlight play and everything. And like, that was the value. And like, if he's not doing that at a high level, which he hasn't shown he can do this season, and granted, he's only played 18 games, so it's tough, but he hasn't really shown he can do this season. It's like, what's the value to somebody like Ja Morant?
It's insane to me how fast like these 2019, like there was people talking about the 2019 draft being like one of the best ever with Ja and Zion going like 1 and 2. They were like these are going to be the faces of the league, and how fast that has turned around is crazy to me. But I said, I don't think that the trade market is going to be good for Memphis. The best they're going to do is probably a future first and a player maybe like a Kyle Kuzma, a lower end player who's making a lot of money. I could see like Chicago Bulls getting involved in that trade. I could see the Brooklyn Nets being given out a trade offer for someone like a John Morant who can help their team that's not looking to really win, but they want people that's going to make people go out to Barclays Center and see their games. John Morant kind of fits that build. So I can see one of those teams getting involved. Milwaukee is probably best case scenario for Ja because he can play with a top 5 player in the league in Giannis. But I don't see Memphis getting back anything good or tangible from the Milwaukee Bucks. So it's a tough situation, and I don't understand the logic of building your team around Triple J. I think Triple J is a really good player. He's a fringe all-star. He is not the guy that you make your franchise guy. He's not the guy that I would build my franchise around. I think he's a good starting piece if you want him to play like a number 2 or number 3 position to a star player in the future, and maybe you build that through the draft. If you get a high draft pick this season, you get out of the play-in and you get a high draft pick this season and get a AJ DeBonsa or a Cam Boozer or Wilson, I think from North Carolina. He's really good. So a player like that you could build towards the future with one of those guys, but there's no bets. There's no bets when it comes to that, unless you decide to trade your star player and Adam Silver can fix the draft lottery for you. So,
Are they trying to build around Jaren Jackson? Like I feel like they see
that
him
was
as
that
a
was
good,
yeah that was what was said in the report when they said that they were putting John Morant on the trade market. Was they plan on building around Triple J now.
he's a good foundational piece. Like I'm with you that like he's a solid number 2, a very strong number 3. But yeah, you still need you need a wing, a guard that can, get you buckets when you need it. That's how most of these teams thrive. You need a guy that's going to be able to get you buckets when it comes down to it. And Jaren Jackson's not a guy who like super creates his own shot. A very good player. Again, very good defensive player. Solid offensive player who does a lot of good things. I think he is a winning player on a good team, and he can help you win. But I don't think that he's a superstar that can be the number 1 option on a championship team. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. If they go out and they get somebody who can be that guy next to him, I think that's good. And I think you start that process by trading Ja. I mean, like, if they're trying to build around him and they're like, well, we're going to conduct our team and to play to his strengths, like, okay, I don't know how that's going to work in the long run. But if you're going to find somebody who enhances his strengths but is actually stronger than him, then I think that's a good recipe for the future. I was just saying, Ja to the Pelicans or the Hornets. I don't know why the Hornets would want him. Like, I think they're happy with LaMelo, Concanoople, and Brandon Miller. And I don't blame them. That's a nice little trio right there. I don't know where Ja fits into that.
And LaMelo can barely stay on the court, so why would they want another player who can barely stay on the court?
Yeah, and I think LaMelo is better for what they do as well.
Yeah.
I'm not super high on LaMelo. Very entertaining player, but I do think that for the way they play, he's better for them than Ja. The Pelicans, I don't know what the Pelicans are. I don't know what the Pelicans are trying to be. The fact that DeJounte Murray has missed all season, you don't know when he's gonna come back. Like, I like him. I like the roster on paper, The problem is most of their roster is on paper. They're not actually on the court. So they're not they're not a great team in that sense. So yeah, I don't know what the Pelicans are really doing, honestly. No. I think it's going to be the Bucks. I truly do. I think the Bucks are going to make some type of offer as a good faith effectively to to uh to Giannis to show like, hey, we're trying to win here, and hope it works out for him.
Yeah, like I said, that's the best case scenario for both the Bucks and probably for Ja Morant playing next to Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, uh, we'll see what happens, but that might be kind of the best case scenario. Uh, the only other thing to touch on from the NBA is Cooper Flag is really good. That's my thoughts. He's really good. Setting all types of record for youngest player to do this, youngest player to do that. The latest thing was scoring 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists with 0 turnovers. He's the youngest player to do that since LeBron James. So Cooper Flag, man, he's the guy. At least they got a guy that they can build around, because their whole thoughts of trading Anthony Davis went up in flames.
I mean, they would be smart, and I'm sure they will. That's why the trade talk is for Anthony Davis, but now he's injured, and like I don't know if he's gonna play the rest of I don't know if he's gonna play the rest of the season, or at least if he's gonna play before the trade deadline. So if you're a team, like, why are you trading for a guy who you don't know when he's going to return and everything? But if you're Dallas, like, you just hope to. This is a very dumb thing to say, and I know how dumb this is to say it. Mind you, I'm not really saying it. I'm saying this is how dumb the trade is. You hope to recoup some value from Anthony Davis, who you traded Luka Doncic for. You can't recoup that value. I know you can't recoup that value. Everyone knows you can't recoup that value. But that's the best case scenario for the Mavericks, is you hope to recoup any value for him. The problem is people are going to look back at this and be like, wow, you traded Luka Doncic for a second round pick and Kyle Kuzma. Great job. Like, that's what it's going to come down to, because I don't know what you're getting out of Anthony Davis. No team is going to pony up like real assets for him, because they don't know if he's going to be on the court. They don't know like how often he can play. It's a lot of money for an aging guy.
I wouldn't even understand doing the trade this season after this injury.
I feel
like they got to wait till the offseason now.
I think you got to do it this season, because you have to just do your best to get guys in there and get pieces in there and get potential draft pieces at some point. Because I don't know in the offseason, like, if it's going to be any better, honestly. Like, I don't think his value goes up in the offseason, is my point. Simply because, like, I don't think his value goes up, period. Like, he is who he is. I'd rather get him now if I'm a team. I'd rather trade him now if I'm Dallas, but I'd rather get him now if I'm a team. Like, if I'm thinking about trading for him in the offseason. Now, you might have more flexibility in the offseason, and that's why you don't do it. But if I'm a team, I'd rather get him now, get him into my organization, try to figure out what that looks like moving forward with him, have maybe part of this season, have all of next season, and then have his final year before he's a free agent, before, making any future decisions, instead of not having this year. I also think, like, I don't think his value changes. Why does his value change between now and the offseason? He's still the same guy. If anything, he might just get hurt again between now and the offseason. So
exactly.
Yeah,
I think the Hawks is probably the best option to make this trade, because they kind of need this trade to get a C minus average on the Trae Young trade, because that's all that the Trae Young trade is basically like basically set up for is for them to have the space to get an Anthony Davis. So if they don't get Anthony Davis, then that Trae Young trade looks even dumber.
I think they could maybe do it in the offseason. I don't know if the Hawks can do it because they need the money, but they can't aggregate CJ McCollum in any of these deals. So because his contract is effectively off the table for the trade, now you got to make up the money elsewhere, and they don't really have the contracts to make up the money elsewhere. And McCollum is actually a valuable piece in a potential trade for a team like Dallas as well. Expiring contract, a good veteran player who can help that team, help Cooper Flag, kind of like a Klay Thompson guy. So like it would make sense for them to do that. But because they can't aggregate McCollum's contract, it's going to be very difficult for them to do that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hawks. I still can't get over how dumb that trade was. You should have traded him like a season earlier, but we can talk more NBA on Thursday, where I'm sure there'll be other news and notes for us to discuss. But we have a special guest joining us today.
I'll be depressed that the Spurs swept the Thunder on Thursday.
Can't wait.
We do have a guest. He's smiling in the background with NBA talks. I don't know. Maybe we will talk some more hoops with our guest. He is from MLW. He is entering the MLW Battle Riot on January 29th. We're pleased to welcome back to the show Ikuro Kwon. Ikuro, how you doing?
What's up, boys? Doing good?
What's going on?
We appreciate you.
I was laughing because that Trae Young, man, it's crazy.
You can weigh in on it. We're a basketball podcast masquerading as a wrestling podcast. So if you want to talk hoops with us, we're here all day.
For CJ McCollum in 2026, like it's just man, it's crazy. Oh, it's crazy. And I like CJ McCollum too. He was on the plate, like the trail, like he was good, but it's just nothing in the world makes sense anymore, right? So why not?
I mean, once Luka gets traded for Anthony Davis, it's like, what are we supposed to do here?
And Davis might get traded again.
Exactly.
Only because they want to have the graphic of like the eyebrow turn into the hawk, like just get like that opening, and that's all they want to do it for. It's all for the pop.
We were talking right before you came on that like the whole Luka trade tree is going to be you traded Luka Doncic for a second round pick and Kyle Kuzma. Like, how stupid do you look?
I've seen people make worse decisions with their money, though. I've seen it. So.
It happens. I hear you're a New Yorker, so are you a Knicks fan?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm in Florida
how you
now,
feel about the Knicks this season?
I still got my blue and orange. I still got it. But yeah, a Knicks fan now. I can very much proudly talk about that. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll have to ask, which side are you on hanging the banner for the NBA Cup?
Man, again, it kind of feels like wrestling. I saw a post. They were like, there's like 40 something champions between like AEW and WWE, and it's like it's cool because there's just more of that. But then it's like you're gonna get a trophy for showing up now too. Like I don't know. I think I don't know if it's like too soon to tell, but I feel like the more it goes on, the more legitimate it's gonna feel. So I feel like that's something that like can be earned, and then there's always something special about being like the first or being in that first type of situation. Like even like during COVID when they did the bowl, like it was kind of it's just one of those like hopefully it never happens again, but that's cool that got to exist in that moment in time. So I don't know. I'm a sucker for like being able to have like physical reminders of like certain accomplishments in like times in history. So like I'm kind of for it, but I understand why it feels like kind of very participation trophy-esque,
Hang it in the practice facility if you want to be reminded.
Like, this is our potential, like where we could go, but it's not a ring.
Yeah. There's only one ring, only one real banner. Get out of here with this NBA Cup banner. banner.
Yeah.
Hey, they raise all the Atlantic Division wins in the rafters in Madison Square Garden. I see it all the time.
You got to do something, man. You got to do something.
How you feeling about things heading into Battle Riot? This is your 4th Battle Riot, I believe.
Yeah. I debuted on Battle Riot 2nd. Battle Riot 2.
Okay.
I debuted on. So just being a part of that, but just like I was looking back because I posted like yesterday or something, but like the posters are crazy. Like if you still look at those posters now, like where everybody is, and then I think about like I'm still on those posters, right? So that's part of it's situational, but it's also a passion of where like I love MLW. Like this is my home, and I feel like for a long time people used it as, well, I'm gonna go here until, and there was no, you know what I mean. And then I was the first one that I really feel like I put my foot down, like it's not until this can be it. This can be the, you know, like the thing, or at least, you know, and this is the first Battle Riot that I'm fighting for myself only. So like that's something cool where like I get to really, you know, sink my teeth into growing like a bigger chip on my shoulder to do so. Like being lower on the totem pole in Contra, then being low on the totem pole on the roster and the division, and then rising up, but then more status, more names come in, more. So now I'm moving further down in the eyes of just resume. And then now that my resume is building, now it's not that I'm walking around like, oh, my shit doesn't stink anymore, but it's like, no, I'm here on purpose, and now you're here right with me. Yes, you were there. Yes, you were there. But now you're looking across from me. There is no, you can't tell me that anymore. And all I need is a chance and a camera. And I don't, you know what I mean? If you have a heartbeat, I can put you down. That's all, you know. You know, no one's been like, I'm so famous, you can't hurt me. What? You know what I mean? Like that's never, my foot doesn't care about your fame. You know what I mean? Like that's how I look at it. And I think, and the Battle Riot's the perfect place to rise through the totem pole in so many different ways. I could take out Karrion Kross. You got to have eyes swivel. And no, that's not for a championship. No, it's not for, but I got him. That matters. I could throw Riddle over the top rope. Doesn't mean I knocked him out. Anyone can get thrown up. Got you. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where like instantly, like you can make some moments happen in there. And I kind of know the game a little more because it's been like 4 times. People usually used to Royal Rumbles. All of a sudden they're in an ankle lock and they're like, I'm going to tap. It's like, well, you're going to get out of this match now. So it's things where like, you know, you have to have a different type of strategy for it. And you know, I'm mad about it. You know, I'm mad. Like I'm mad that I'm not the middleweight champion. I'm mad that you know, MLW is something that I want those letters to be, you know, be the place that you want to show like you could go. And yeah, this is number 4. This is 4 is my lucky number, I guess, because I kind of feel like I have to win it. Kind of how I feel.
So with that goal in mind, like what is kind of going to be a difference in your strategy in comparison to your previous appearances in the Battle Riot?
It's no one else's mission now. I've done Battle Riots where I have to help someone else win, or I have to be a distraction, or I have to put my body in a certain place to where even if I can fatigue someone who we think might win, that's enough. So Fatu could do something. So, you know, so Cruel could do something. You know, I mean, now it's, I don't have to answer. I don't have to follow anyone. So now it's just about me, you know, like, and then it's, you know, it started happening. Like I took Mystico's mask before MJF, before I did it. I'm not waiting. Who is he to me? You know what I mean? Again, just because I know what you've done, that doesn't change what might happen. You know, and it's not even a respect type of thing. It's just status. Like I get it. So yeah, I'm gonna snap your neck and take your mask, and then go back to Mexico and act like you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm gonna do. And even now, like with the middleweight, and even with the middleweight title, I took that. You know, I took it. And then you have Templario, and then they all cheat or whatever. But notice there's been 3, you know, he's done like 3 photo shoots. Templario, the middleweight title was not on his shoulder. I would sleep with that thing because I care about that so much. I care about the division. I care about me being a brand. Again, you look at the MLW roster. You look at it, like, oh, I know him, I know her, I know him, I know who's it? This is the last year of that. I've done weight. My resume looks crazy, but because of maybe the way that I listen to orders, And that's why I was where I was. Now that I'm not listening to any orders, now I can be me. I can, I'm a boss. And like I said, like, in the grand scheme of it all, I think we talked about it once before, like, I'm the blueprint of someone who looks like me. You're not turning on New Japan and seeing someone who's going to talk like me there. So there's people who look like me, but it's not me. So there's no blueprint for it. They don't know what to do with that. They know it's supposed to be on TV. They know it's supposed to be in a title picture, but what do you do with it? So I got to show you how to do it. And that's, what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, I'm 5'9". Why are these 6'5" people looking at me eye to eye? Because that's how I am. Like, it's just, and like maybe there's a little bit of like arrogance, not even arrogance, but arrogance towards like wanting to be the first. There's never been a conversation where you're going to see on Twitter or whatever, being like, yo, man, remember like when that Asian wrestler was on the cover of it? You remember your favorite Asian world champ? We're not having that conversation yet. How come Asian Americans are not? Why? I don't know. There's a lot of us. It's not popular now. How many posters you see? I'm the only one representing. Only one. And I'll even put it out like that. But then they're like, oh, we need some representation. Boom. First Korean in the CML tournament. Grand Prix. Boom. You. Without question. Is me. So when there's no one before, there's a lot more hurdles you got to climb to get to what that is. But I'm solid all the way through, so I'm not worried about like messing up or like going the wrong way. Like I'm good on both sides, in and outside the ring. Like I don't got to deal with no drama, no nothing. I take care of my wife, my family, like my daughter. Like my boys are good, my parents are good. Like there's nothing, you can't tell me nothing about no money, no status. Man, like like there's nothing that these people can talk to me about that. So now it's just me being able to still be humbly enough to keep my ears open, because there's so much wisdom in that locker room, and I know that good people, good men and women, but being able to say like, but I deserve to be in the room for the conversation. And I think that's something that has led by example, where I know it's a longer road that I'm taking, but it's a road that no matter what point down this road, I can look back and I can say I didn't sell myself for nothing. I didn't trade on nobody. I never did nothing schemy. I never put no one's business out, like none of that. I stayed me. So no matter what, wherever I go on that road, I'm good. And I think that's something that is that ties into the battle rap. Like, now it's really putting all of that into action in what we do. So, yeah.
You mentioned kind of looking out for yourself more this year, not having to look out for other people, and specifically at Battle Riot. But I want to go back to this Battle Riot last year, when I feel like this kind of shifted for you, and when you when Mystico relinquished the title and you came out and you took the title. And I want to get into that, but my first question off of that is, can you explain the differences of the mist that are used, and like how, I believe you hit Caesar, if my memory recalls, red mist, I think it was that night. What is the difference between a red mist and a blue mist and a black mist or a green? Like, what did the red effectively do to him that night?
Man. So I think everyone has their own formula and ingredients for whatever the potions they make, and whatever color turns out, it turns out. For me personally, like, I'm never going to be able to hide behind the fact like, oh, it wasn't my hands that put you down. So the mist, to me, it's a salute and a shout out to the ones who've done it before, but it's also an understanding like this narrative of rules and fighting fair is no. It's I'm gonna do whatever I want with you, whenever I want with you. Like, red, it's battle, it's war. Because next time when your face looks like that, it's not going to be missed. And that's how I feel about it. When it's green, there's a lot of things that it stands for. It does stand for jealousy in a way. And sometimes I do feel jealous. I do feel jealous that in certain conversations or certain places people can take themselves to, I don't fit in. So yeah, there is a little bit of envy there, but it's also, money's green too. And there's a lot of situations where, like, if I want to make a statement, it's going to be done in every way. Like, there's a lot of thought into that. Sometimes it can be as simple as, what was I wearing that day? Did it match the mist? And it's probably why I did. You know, so you never know what it is, but no one seems to get it because no one's showing up, walking to the ring facing me wearing like a visor, like little like coat, face mask. They should figure it out by now. I'm about to get blinded right now.
Can you do like glitter mist, like a glitter bomb, but it's mist? Like that would be embarrassing if I just had a bunch of glitter on my face from misting.
Wait till you see me doing a tack mist, a thumbtack mist.
Hell yeah! Oh, now we're talking.
I'm gonna start doing fire mist soon.
I'm here for it. Well, you brought up somebody that I wanted to definitely ask you about, and Jeremy brought him up as well. Mystico. I recently talked to him for the takedown on Sports Illustrated, and he is very adamant that one of his goals for 2026 is winning the MLW Heavyweight Championship. He's a 2-time Opera Cup winner. Tell us about kind of your rivalry with Mystico and your thoughts on his sights being on that top prize that I know you want as well.
It has nothing to do with a beef. Like I have no problems with Mystico. I've been there. I've been in the ring in Arena Mexico watching him make his entrance. I get it. I've seen the tape. I've been with him. Like I know what he is. And there's nothing false about the admiration that he gets. There's nothing fabricated. There's nothing undeserved. But at the same time, like, why does you wanting it step ahead of me wanting it? I'm not talking about age or you sit back. Like, no, there's nothing stopping him physically. It's the idea of if I'm here, you don't get it because you're you. I'm not going to sit back and play that game. Because what? I want you to follow me back. I don't follow you in the first place. Why would I why do I care if you're going to double tap a picture of me working out? Like, no, I'm going to go right there. I'm going to take your face off and you're not going to do anything about it. I'm going to go to your country in the middle of your home field, call myself the Lucha Hunter, wearing a necklace made of masks that I've taken. And I'm going to walk and get a soda like nothing happened. That's how it is. And it's kind of the idea, like I say this a lot, like if you listen closely, that's the sound of God laughing while you're making plans. You're a legend. Like I said, like I don't like my fist doesn't care about your legend status. It doesn't. Just like how you don't care that I'm hungry. He doesn't give a shit about my hunger. And nor should he. But that's the part of it. I don't care what you want. Yeah. No, keep going.
Oh, I was saying I love the idea
now
of.
I'm mad talking about Mystico now and all.
well, we can sort of transition, but stay on topic of Mystico and taking his mask. But we have a promotion. It's a fake promotion, but it's a real promotion. It's called Ring of Hallucinations, where we advocate for murder around here. I don't know if we've pitched you on Ring of Hallucinations. We've taken a lot of MLW talent. Court Bauer knows about this promotion. He's actually in talks to collaborate with us on this because he likes our ideas so much. But we can do, instead of like taking the mask of a luchador, we'll just take their heads. Like we can do decapitation stuff, and you can just wear like their heads around a necklace. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
You know how like Mercedes Moné comes out with all the dudes holding their championships?
Yeah.
I just have a dude holding each head that I take off. And
there we go.
Like that.
To the point where we have to start doing outdoor venues because everyone's just gonna have a head. But because it really means it's about getting the attention just enough. It's that 3 seconds of a chance to someone say like, oh, I like him for whatever reason. And like that was a moment where like I know what I'm doing. I know it's going to get me in a lot of trouble if I take this dude's mask. Like him, you don't touch someone's mask. You don't touch Mystico. You don't touch him. And I'm just sitting back like, who made that rule? Like who are you people listening to? You know, and I feel like that's what MLW needs. They need someone who it's not about questioning authority. It's about like imitating art, where you do this thing once. I don't care what you believe in. You do this once. I'm not gonna, and I'm gonna wait. This is my dream. Court Bauer can say what he feels about Contra, but he did. But I didn't get that contract because I made him. It's a business thing. I'm a cool guy. I'm a good guy. That's not why I get opportunities. It's a business decision. And so was that. So was that move. Me telling Templario, like, listen, I understand we're doing, you are who you are, but don't talk to me like I'm not who I am. And that's really where it comes from. And I enjoy being able to wrestle the luchadors because we don't got to talk about it. And I feel like that's something that, like, in all of these cities now that we're going to, they're starting to recognize, like, oh no, he can, not only can he hang with them, I don't know if they're going to beat Kwon. And that's the slow burn of now 2026 kicking off with Battle Riot 8. There's just more of there's more of a reason to check in. And when my music plays, you're gonna sit up. Like that no matter what number I come out, like it's this might be, let me change my bet real quick. Like that's what this is gonna be.
So you've established you're not taking any type of orders from anyone. You have no kind of alliance with anyone. So how is that gonna be kind of change the dynamic if you step into the ring with Cruel, the MLW heavyweight champion now, with your history together?
He called me in. He called me back to rebuild Contra because he understood he couldn't do it by himself. He's one of the most powerful people in wrestling today, but that there's a reason why. Oh, you want gold in Contra? Cool. Me and Suzuki got it. We brought gold back. Not him. Not yet. A lot, and respect to him, being where he is and who he is. He's our world champion. But he does not want me to win that battle, right? He doesn't. Because, missed and all, like 6 feet, 7 feet, like it really is one of those situations where, like, I think it might have to happen. And the reason why I say it has to happen is that he walked out on me. That's a punishable offense regardless. I just want it to be on camera. So he's got to see me for something anyway. But it's a different type of thing. He didn't put his hands on me. He didn't put me in danger. He did tell me to my face. So there's a different level there, but there's still, I got to see you for something. And he knows I don't care how big he is. He knows that. So it's one of those situations where, like, sometimes you have to fight your brother. You and your brother got to go in the backyard. And that's all it is, unless he changes that. And as far as I'm concerned, he's going his way, I'm going my way. My way just happens to be what he's holding on his shoulder. So that's just kind of that's what it is again business.
I'm gonna switch gears for my last one here, since we opened with sports. I'm gonna close with sports. What type of fan are you when you're watching the game? Like, if your team loses, is it nobody talk to me for an hour, or it's like, all right, we lost, we'll get them in the next one? Like how do you handle the games and the ebbs and flows and the wins and the losses?
I see that for me it varies, because there's different modes where I'll watch games. There's games where watching with, like, my friends, it's a different feeling, because it's like you're all cheering for something different, I feel like, at the same time. Whereas, like, if I got money on the game, that's a different type of anger, and another type of, like, wishful thinking. And then by myself, it's kind of like I've never broken a TV. I've broken remotes, right?
Fair.
But I feel like because of wrestling, I'm more forgiving of the whole picture of, oh, maybe something's happening at home, right? Or like, well, and then but then the next sentence of that is like, that man, you get $50 million, you make that, like that, that's that it's that, right? So it's in between. It's controlled insanity, I'd say, where it's just passion, but my wife doesn't really like me watching sports.
Relatable.
Relatable to me as well.
Because then I got to explain it, and that makes me 10 times madder. Because then I relive it, what just happened, and then I got to and to break it down. It's like I'm not ready to process this, and you're making me break this down now. So yeah.
So I am a fellow New Yorker as well. So my question is kind of akin to Jeremy. What type of Knick fan are you? Because I always feel Knick fans, there's different types. There is there's always next year I'm gonna party like it's 1999 if we win a playoff game Knick fan. Or there is the Knick fan that if they lose a game, oh, I am bad mouthing you like my worst enemy. And then tell us kind of like your favorite things to do in New York. What was kind of the thing that you did in New York that made you feel most New Yorker? Because everyone has that if you live in New York long enough.
Yeah. Man, like I just been a Knick fan for, I think at first it was just sentimental reasons, like just going to the Garden when I was young, like all the way to like, not being able to afford shoes and being like, what are these? Like, these are Starberries. Like, oh shit. Like, just the kind of learning without knowing. And then just being and then of course, like when people talk trash about you, then you have more pride of like, I talk about my Knicks like that. Like, what are you gonna? And then we got Melo, and it was like, oh, you saying right? But then we're still losing, right? So and then being what, freshman in high school or something like that, like when Linsanity came out, for me I was like hell yeah, like that was crazy. And that team was amazing anyway. And Tyson Chandler won Defensive Player of the Year. Like that was crazy. And then like now what's being built, it's like it was bound to happen. But when you watch the process, like you understand more of like just a rebuild. Like I feel like, again, psychological sense of like a rebuild has nothing to do with your life, but the sense of like people not stopping and not trying to give up and doing their research, and like you somehow like inherit that. I'm a Giant fan too. A thing where I've seen 2 Super Bowls. They like in 2012 I was a senior in high school. Like I remember we skipped school that day and went to the parade, and then we were on TV while they were airing in the lunchroom. Like I remember nice. That like that that. And which ties into favorite stuff about New York is like just the camaraderie of strangers, where like it's that melting pot. You go to any other state, like there's imitations of it, but there's nothing like that situation where like you have people just talking bullshit and everyone understanding it at the same time, and also have their own interpretation. That idea that everyone kind of self-polices each other on all in a way where like we look out for the elderly, we look out for women, like without question. And again, unfortunately some of that mindset is kind of more old school, I guess, based, but that's who I was like raised upon. But that idea where like always wanting to better yourself, that hustle mentality that only exists when sometimes it's 10 degrees, sometimes it's 95, like that type of environment makes you understand that me feeling sorry for myself does not make the clock stop. It doesn't mean you don't make time for it, but do something with that. Like on the like on the low, like on a shoot profession, like I'm a therapist, like I'm a child and family therapist, like specifically with addiction and childhood traumas. Like this is a world that I grew up in, so like being able to take that full circle, but my background helps me talk to these kids, talk to these families. I don't get that if I wasn't from New York and was exposed to everything. That brutal honesty of New York is what makes you ready for a world like pro wrestling, where like you don't, like, most people can't tell who's bullshitting or who's faking. If you're from New York, you know who's who's trying to like talk you up or trying to like get something or try to have their hands in your pockets. Like you understand the body language, you understand the lingo, you understand like the intentions of somebody. You have a different checkbox of who's going to be let into your circle. Some of these people that grow up elsewhere don't have those families, don't have those types of friends. Like they deal with that shit in their 30s, late 20s, like people, you know, like cheating, backstabbing, like, you know, bad credit, like these things, like there's certainly poor purchases, like there's, you know, through late in life, which again, we're not throwing stones, but it's stuff that people are learning at 35, 45. I learned at 9. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Even with cameras in your face, like it's not even about, I'm not like famous, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, at shows I am, right? Like people like cameras and always know, you know, where you're talking, who you're talking to, like, oh, that's from New York. Oh, who's over there? Who's that? Oh, they're from that side. Go over here. Like, oh, look at this. Like that awareness. And now you have people who just instant sensations. They got cameras in the face. They don't know how to act. That's what I love about MLW. You look at this locker room. It's solid individuals now. Like top to bottom, you got people, they're not talking about nothing. They're talking about family. They're talking about investments. They're talking about property. They're talking about real. Like that's what it is. Follow the money. That's where you learn about that system. And that's what you want to have. So now that's a different checkbox. When I tell my friends who aren't in MLW, when we're in locker rooms, let them know, like, if it don't feel right, it's not right. And that's the most New York thing that I can say, like, that I guess encompasses like the state, the city, the lifestyle is enhanced awareness of self and environment would be that. Yeah.
Kira, before I let you go, I think you played this with us last time, but we played the game Partner Promo Punch in the Face. Give you 3 names, one to partner with, one to promo against, and one to punch in the face. So I'm going to give you Mystico, Paul London, and Donovan Dijak.
Oh, I'm gonna just punch Mystico because I did it already. Man, so I did get the team with Paul London in Mexico, and he's someone, again, you just look up to him because it's like, man, I never thought I'd be in that space. And you watch him, I'm 9 years old, 8 years old, and I'm watching Paul London. I'm not thinking now that I'm going to be team with him, or at least having a situation where like he wants to talk to me about and put me on game. That's got to be another partner. I got to partner with him. And then as far as Dijak, someone else again who a wonderful human being, like that, like from top to bottom, family man, educated, like a good man. And to promo with him because of what I can learn from him. He would be him. Yeah.
Kara, we appreciate you joining us. Let everybody know where they can find you at and what you got going on.
Yeah, man. Twitter X, right? It's the Ikuro Kwon. Same on Instagram. I think there's an underscore in there. It's like almost like your phone number. I don't know my own phone number. That is. And what we got coming up? We have Battle Riot 8 in Kissimmee, Florida, January 28th. And I'm open for bookings, man. Singles, tag, any sort of class, and anything that I can do to spread what I got going on to whoever is willing, and anyone who is in need of a dragon, which is a lot of places. I'm here. So hit me up. And of course, obviously, thank you guys.
Oh, we appreciate you. We appreciate you joining us here. And anytime we can talk sports with people, we're always happy about that. It is MLW Battle Riot. It is Thursday, January 29th. It'll be available on YouTube for people to watch. You can also go to MLWlive.com and Ticketmaster to get your tickets now. Akira, again, we appreciate you. Good luck in the Battle Riot. I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, guys. Man, be safe.
Appreciate it, girl. Peace.
There you go. Ikuro Kwon, he's been on the show before. He's a good dude. He's very fun.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
I remember the first time we had him on, like I didn't know what to expect because his character is very it's kind of mysterious, and like he doesn't talk a ton on the MLW show. So I'm like, all right, I don't know how this is gonna go. And then if you watch that interview, like he's very personable. He's very he has a lot of stories to tell. He's very open about things, and he's talkative. And I was like, oh, he's like he's chatting here. This isn't like one word answer and then I'm just gonna move on and be mysterious. Like he's chatting. Like, all right, sweet, this is great. So very happy to have him back on the show. Again, MLW Battle Rights, everybody, January 29th. It is a Thursday. I'm sure I'll complain about a Thursday show when the time draws near.
He's like, I gotta watch wrestling on a Thursday.
There's already TNA on Thursday with 9 o'clock nowadays. That's no fun. Not looking forward to that. And talk about a Monday show as well. Raw last night. All right, last afternoon.
It was afternoon.
Rest in the U.S.
It was good.
I did that.
I think I enjoyed it more because it was at a reasonable time.
Yeah, that's probably that's fair. The fact that I was like, oh, okay, you know what, we can be done at around 4:30. Got the rest of the evening to enjoy things. This is nice.
Yep.
I did like that portion of it. Like the show, I didn't mind the show overall. It wasn't a terrible show or anything. The thumbnail, as people saw, Bron Breakker is suspended because, God forbid, they know what to do with a guy who they want to get over, but they don't want to beat or make look silly on television because they can't just, have him beat a bunch of people himself. So it's, let's make him out to look like a monster and suspend him for reasons. I hate when they do this. I hate it. Just keep him on TV and have him beat people. Why is this a difficult concept? Or your thoughts on
do something silly, like have him beat everybody on his way back to the world championship, or make him look strong.
We'll talk about that
before the Royal Rumble. Can't do anything like that. But yeah, it was a decent enough angle. I thought that they presented Bron Breakker as an unhinged animal that not even Paul Heyman could control, not the general manager could control. That spear on Dragon Lee was so good because of the camera shot.
Yeah, the drone shot. Yeah, they had to utilize the drone for good.
Yeah, with the drone shot and as well as the original shot, because they just focused the camera on Dragon Lee. He's standing there too long. That was the only thing that tipped me off that something was about to happen. But the crowd didn't. He was so fast, the crowd didn't give you like the tip off, because usually when someone's coming down, the crowd is like immediately like, oh, you hear the crowd react to it. But he was so fast that the crowd wasn't even able to react in time, and he hits him with the spear. That was really well done. Then Pierce getting in his face. And then Bronson Reed he gives the spear to Breakker gives the spear to Penta in the ring, and then Bronson Reed with the tsunami, and then another spear to Dragon Lee, and then Pierce. As soon as Pierce put his hands on him, I was like, man, Pierce, you are once again not doing your job properly. Power hungry Pierce. This is ridiculous. And then him getting in Breakker's face, I was like, yo, yoke this man. I wanted him to beat the bricks off of Adam Pierce. I am sorry. We got to stop acting like this is still the scrap daddy. He is not the scrap daddy. He is middle management Pierce. That is not the scrap daddy that I grew up on. So I was happy that Bron got in his face, went full on Scott Steiner mode. Scott Steiner in 2000 needing the straight jacket, going crazy on Pierce to the point that the Vision had to pull him off. I thought even this is going to be, I think this is going to be the first time in quite some time, probably since maybe like late 2024, Logan Paul was actually good in this segment. He was actually good. His line at the end, he was like, he's going to kill you. You got to relax. I was like, that was awesome. That was awesome. That popped me so much. His Logan Paul, he's going to kill you. Will you stop? He's like worried for Pierce's well-being. That was awesome. And then the backstage with Pierce suspending Breakker, and then also Paul Heyman bringing up the fact that Pierce is the one that put his hands on Breakker first. I thought this was a really good angle to kind of put some attention back on Breakker coming off the loss. He's feeling like crazed and he wants to hurt people after losing to CM Punk, and then also kind of creating this drama that we at least have something, a story, because that was the one thing missing from last week's Monday Night Raw, which I'm sure Zeno Hour loved last week's Monday Night Raw as well. He loves everything WWE. But last week's Monday Night Raw, it just felt like they were capping off or putting a bow on most of their stories. They weren't creating any new stories for you to want to watch the following week, this past last night's show. So I felt like this was actually a story that you can follow up on that feels like episodic television, and you want to watch next week's show to find out if Pierce is going to lift the suspension with the fact that he put his hands on Breakker first. Is Breakker gonna like just basically say F that suspension and show up and hurt people even more and create this more crazed character similar to Scott Steiner on his way to winning the World Heavyweight Championship in 2000 in WCW? I'm interested. This was a nice angle that makes me want to watch next week to see the next step of it.
Or you can go back 2 months, SP3, to when references were made to future contenders and then see what's going to happen next week. Was there a reference 2 months ago where, who the hell are the tag team champions right now? I don't even know.
The Usos.
Oh, it is the Usos. Did the Usos 2 months ago reference like, hey, you know, it'd be a cool match? I think they were just feuding with the Vision the whole time because that's all they did throughout last year. They referenced the Vision, and now next week the Vision is going to get a tag team title shot because they're like, hey, 2 months ago you said our name and now we're going to appear. Because that's what happened with Finn Balor and CM Punk. CM Punk was great to be alive in Dusseldorf, and then Finn Balor interrupted and he said, you mentioned my name after you won the title. Here I am. Now I'm coming after the title. They said a lot more than that, but who could possibly care about this giant loser Finn Balor who gets a title shot because his name was said 2 months ago by CM Punk?
This was so bad. This is just like, dude, y'all only book basically on what the schedule is, because next week you're in Ireland. That's why Finn Balor is out here to get a title shot. The story of Finn Balor kind of being a loser of the Judgment Day has been a story for pretty much the duration of the last like 14 months of WWE programming. Basically, like, he's been the loser. He's gotten one victory in the last year, and that was against Dragon Lee on September 1st. As soon as he came out, I was just like, yeah, Finn Balor hasn't won a singles match since September 1st, and he has won 0 singles wins since CM Punk mentioned him after winning the World Heavyweight Championship on November 1st. So what are we doing here? Why didn't y'all have Balor actually win a match? And then you can just win one match, because that seems to be y'all thing as well. Y'all are basically going by the Tony Khan booking of, oh, I have to have this person win a match to set up this other match that I really want to do. They don't even do that anymore. They just do hey, he's just gonna have the matchup. We're in Ireland. Here it is. CM Punk's gonna mention how he's just been shining Liv Morgan's boots this whole time. That's a great way to build him up for a title match, right? And then they make it worse with the tag team titles, where Alpha Academy have only won once in 2 years. 2 years of being a tag team. Otis and Akira Tozawa. They won once back in 2024, nearly 2 years ago. And now they're going to get a shot at the World Tag Team title. Does any wins or losses actually matter? No,
No.
they don't, because you could just get a title match by just saying it. And Xeno Hour, we all know you like everything WWE. You could tell us, oh, I'm not praising it. I thought last week's Monday Night Raw was okay. No one thought it was okay. So this is you're just proving my point, genius.
I don't remember last week's Raw, honestly.
You don't
Sure,
want
it's
to
a
remember
show
last week's Monday Night Raw.
existed. Oh, that was the Stranger Things episode. Yeah, that sucked.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this Finn Balor.
Everyone and their mama was calling that awful. My mama hit me up and said, "Oh, I heard Raw did a Stranger Things episode. My friend went and said it sucked."
Finn Balor getting a title shot is just, like, I like Finn Balor. He's obviously, one of the top people of all time. I know that doesn't seem much, but like, he's been around for a while. He is a great wrestler. He is a great character. He's a guy who people are attached to because of what he did more in his first few years than his last few years in the company. But there's just no foresight with this stuff. Like, if you knew he was going to have a title match, just throw him a victory like last week. It doesn't have to be over anybody important. He can beat Dragon Lee again. I don't care. But at least throw him a victory of like, hey, you saw this guy wrestle last week. He won. He actually won a match. And now here he is referencing something from 2 months ago, being like, hey, you know what? I actually got a victory. He doesn't have to say actually got a victory. But I'm on a roll right now. I'm 1-0 in my last 1 matches.
I am 1-0 in the year of 2026.
Yeah, I'm undefeated in 2026. Like, throw something there instead of just, hey, you said my name 2 months ago. People are saying that I don't have it anymore and I'm too obsessed with video games and Liv Morgan shining my boots and stuff. So anyway, here I am. Give me a title shot. I don't understand why these champions don't just say kick rocks. Just no. Get out of here. I ain't wrestling.
You don't deserve a shot.
You lost. Yeah. This title means something. You can't just come out here and be like, I want a title shot. No. You got to actually do something to get this title shot. Instead, it's like, I respect you because you were cool 10 years ago with the Bullet Club. So, okay, you can have your title shot. Done with this. It'll be a good match, I'm sure. Like, they'll structure it to where
great. I think it's gonna be a great match if it gets time. I think those two guys will have good chemistry with one another, and I know that Finn will be motivated in Ireland. It's not set up for us to want to care. Like it's gonna be set up for the people in Ireland to care because yay, we get to see our countrymen, but it's not set up for the wider audience to really care that much.
You care if you have an attachment to Finn Balor over however many decades at this point. I don't think people that have been watching TV for the last year care about Finn Balor because they haven't really given you a reason to care about Finn Balor. He's a dude that loses and he's in backstage segments and he's overshadowed by Liv when she was healthy and Dom every time he's on screen. That's it. That's all. So, no, I do think it'll be a good match. Yeah, the crowd will be into it. That's gonna help things. Balor's gonna be motivated. Punk is good in these environments. Like, I do think it'll be good, very good match. Just I don't have any reason to actually care about it. On the opposite end of, well, sort of the opposite end, but the same end, match that I don't have any attachment to, and I'm not sure it's going to be very good. Becky and Maxxine part 28 at this point. Why are we doing this again? Why? What do we need this match for? I look forward to it because I want to see if it can be on the level of their last match. But why are we doing this match again?
I'm gonna try to talk about this very calmly because
No, I'll make sure that doesn't happen.
because you're calm today, but I think like in 2 hours when I'm with Top Guy JJ, who last week punched his camera out because of how bad Raw was, I think I might lose it. Because I honestly, when I get this good Becky Lynch promo, as usual, she's always good in her promos, and she announces that next week in Ireland, she's defending the title against Maxxine Dupri. I honestly took that offense. I took offense to that. I thought that this was like a strategic booking shot at me. Because me and JJ on Rated Raw Review, we ripped this apart. Like, we said that this was one of the worst Becky Lynch matches of all time last week in Brooklyn. And Maxxine was not good. Maxxine literally watched the referee count her out. She's looking right at the referee, count her out, thinking that what Becky's shoulders was down. It was so bad. And JJ said it best. He was like, Becky Lynch had a miracle. It was like, they have a story in the Bible that Jesus had like one fish and one piece of bread, and he was able to make that stretch out for 30 different people. Becky Lynch was able to do that with Maxxine, and when she had a good match. And then she had another good match with Maxxine, probably the best match of Maxine's whole career. And y'all just keep trying to make her do the same miracle over and over and over. It does not have, you can't repeat miracles. That's not how this works. You were supposed to cherish the miracle and be like, you know what? Let's cut this loose before, a law of diminishing returns, because that's all this is. It's been a law of diminishing returns. They had a all right match in August. Then they had a good match that started awful. I remember us talking about how that beginning portion of that matchup where Becky lost by countout it was not good, and they were able to cut it together, and they had a really good matchup that the crowd was into. Jessica Carr screws over Becky Lynch, counting her out. They had a good match. And then the next match, when Becky gets disqualified, it's not as good. Then the next match after that, when Maxxine beats Becky for the championship, it was just not good. I won't say bad. It was not good. And then we went to the depths of last week where they gave us the front runner right now for worst match of the year. We're only 2 weeks into the year, but we already got a front runner. We set the bar on match of the year with Tanahashi and Okada and Tsuji and Takeshita at Wrestle Kingdom. And then on January 5th, the next day, we set the bar on the worst match of the year with Becky Lynch and Maxxine Dupri. And yet you want to give it to us again? Again? I'm insulted. I'm taking it personally. Triple H, I understand I've said a lot of bad things about you, but you don't have to do this to me. You know I review this show multiple times on a Tuesday. On this show, on Rated Raw Review, then on Saturday I have to talk about Monday Night Raw again 3 times in a week. I have to talk about a Maxxine Dupri and Becky Lynch match.
Why isn't this like, it's got to be a gimmick match, right? You can't do another singles match. Make it a street fight, make it a submission match. You have to do something that isn't another singles match. Why are we doing another singles match? I've seen it. It's not good. It hasn't been good. You gotta smoke and mirror this thing one way or another. Because another singles match ain't gonna be it. Becky's the heel. She's good enough to turn the crowd. She did it last time she was in Ireland with the SmackDown promo. So, assuming she gets some promo time beforehand, she's good enough to like turn the crowd. I just don't know if the crowd is going to care about Maxxine as the person they're gonna cheer for. That's the issue.
I would hope they realize that you got the worst matchup mainly because you changed the dynamic. You changed the dynamic of the whole rivalry. The whole rivalry has been it's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. It's not just her saying it. I'm saying it. Sports Illustrated, Bleacher Report is saying it. It's that person versus a rookie who is just, coming together, who learned a couple of things and is just able to, keep the pace and push her to the limits. And sometimes she can even push her to the limit so far that she can get an upset victory or get 3 upset victories in a row. That dynamic worked for them. It was a law of diminishing returns from that really good matchup where she lost by count out, but still it was able to work for them. We hit the depths when you changed that dynamic last week, when you made Maxxine Dupri into Natalya 2.0, and now she's a submission specialist after 2 weeks of training vignettes.
Those vignettes went like nowhere.
They
did them.
She had a black outfit 1 week and then she just dropped it.
Like Natalya never appeared, even though that was supposed to be like the bit behind it. It just never actually happened. This has got to be the end of it, right? Like you do the match next week, Becky wins, maybe AJ comes out after the match, and that's it. Maxxine
six matches, Jeremy. 6 matches since August. 6.
They couldn't give Finn Balor a single win during that time. They gave him 1.
They get 1. They couldn't give Finn Balor 2 singles wins in that time.
But they gave us 6 Becky Lynch and Maxxine Dupri matches.
6.
Yeah. Main event, Gunther and AJ Styles. I'm going to let you talk about this match because my computer is about dead and I need to grab my charger.
No worries.
So I'm going to pop off here in a second and I'll be back in like a minute.
We have to balance the world and let me talk about the good matchup that was on the show. AJ Styles and Gunther, to no one's surprise, was a great main event matchup. I thought that it was smartly worked, smartly paced. I like the story of the matchup with AJ going after the leg early on to set up for the calf crusher. And they established what both men's game plans were heading into the matchup with the pre-match promo, where AJ was very serious and determined, said that he wanted to make Gunther tap out like a little bitch, what Gunther's been saying about John Cena this whole time. And then Gunther, he was just in his cocky mode. He wasn't really worried about AJ Styles, but he knew that even if he can't beat AJ Styles, he can outsmart him. So I thought that was a really kind of premise going into the matchup that played out throughout the whole matchup, with AJ focused on going after the leg, even when Gunther grabs him up with like a rear naked choke all over the top rope while AJ's on the apron. AJ hits a dragon screw leg whip to regain control. I love AJ switching up the 450 splash, the springboard 450, and he just does basically a springboard Harlem hangover and just sits down all of his weight on Gunther's legs. I don't even know if he planned on doing that on purpose, but that looked like it sucked for Gunther. So I thought that was really well done. All the calf crusher attempts, I thought that Gunther sold it so well. His desperation to try to get out, which made for what happened in the finish, I think play out very well. My main nitpick or criticism about the matchup is I don't think that the finish and then post-match were really well done. I thought that it was kind of just off a little bit. Like, I know it was supposed to be, he taps out off camera and then we have to go back with the replay, but the ref playing it off and telling the referee, you never told the ring announcer that he won the match. You didn't signal for the bell or anything like that. So why do you need to have a conversation with the ring announcer? Yes, I know it's because you want to be distracted, have your back turned as Gunther gets the low blow, but that just looked very contrived and a little bit too set up. I didn't think that worked out as smooth. Gunther getting the win with the second power bomb, getting the 1, 2, 3. That was all right. And then the post match, they just kept replaying the footage. Like it was on a loop on the Titantron at the end. It was like they didn't time out the ending of the show that well. And that's why we ended the show, I think, with like 5 minutes before the 2.5 hour mark, because they kept just on a loop. They didn't know what to do after the matchup. They followed Gunther going up the ramp. Gunther's watching the replay. They show the replay again and then do it on a loop again. And then Gunther pose and then he walks away. It was just, yeah, that was kind of weird with how they planned out or timed out the ending of the matchup into Gunther kind of walking away. And the crowd, I don't think the crowd kind of booed him in the way that probably WWE intended him to get booed. Other than that, these were two of the best pro wrestlers in the game today going at it, and they didn't even hit third gear. That's what makes it really great how this matchup played out. This was an excellent matchup between two professionals, and they left a lot of meat on the bone to do another matchup between the two later on. So I thought that was well done with how much they kind of left to play out in a rematch, which hopefully will be at the Royal Rumble or even a Saturday night's main event to add some juice to one of those two cards. So this was probably the best thing on, not probably. This was the best thing on last night's show, Gunther and AJ Styles.
They ain't gonna do a rematch.
No, they have to. They have to after the Phantom tap out. I don't know. Yeah, I'm also not too sure about having Gunther tap out again, because I think that's just going to lead to more you tapped out chants. Even though he made John Cena tapped out last week, we still had that chant being heard in Brooklyn because people still remember you tapped out to Jey Uso. If he never tapped out to Jey Uso, I think that finish, I don't have any issues with it. Like I said, I just thought that the timing of the ending and then the post match was really weird. It was just off. Like I was saying while you were gone, I was like the whole referee talking to the timekeeper to be like, the match is still going on. You never signaled that the match was done. So why do you have to have a freaking 1 minute conversation to have your back turned so Gunther can get the low blow? Like that just felt way, way too contrived for my blood. So yeah. That was it. And no, Javon Evans was not the best thing on the show. Javon Evans is basically the new Ricochet. I'm sorry to let y'all know, but it's kind of how he's been booked. It's kind of, I can see through that. And Bravo Americano is just Tyler Bate, but not allowed to be Tyler Bate all the time. Only for the swing. Only for the helicopter
airplane spin.
That was the only. Yeah, the airplane spin. Yeah, that's the only time he can be Tyler Bate. He's trying to do lucha libre when he's not a luchador. He's a British technical wrestler that you're trying to make a luchador. So that match was fine, but it's nothing that I'm going to remember in 2 days. I will remember Gunther and AJ Styles. That's why that's the best thing on the show.
I like Gunther and AJ Styles. It was a very, very good match. The Gunther getting you tapped out chance and now kind of playing into that feels like a misstep into this, because he's getting the chance because they did the Jey Uso tap out because they had no foresight that Gunther was going to actually finish John Cena's career, even though a lot of people thought that Gunther was going to finish John Cena's career. So they didn't.
It's almost like they didn't plan out John Cena's retirement tour.
Well, yeah. And I don't know if they didn't expect that he was going to get these chances, but he did. He's been getting them since he tapped out. And now that he's continuing to get them, I don't know if like playing into the fact and reminding people that like, oh yeah, he tapped out John Cena. He made John Cena tap like a little bitch, but also he tapped out like a little bitch. And now we're going to, again, kind of remind people by doing phantom tap outs and things like that. It's like, this doesn't seem like the best use of Gunther here, but that's what they're going with. I don't have any faith that they're going to do a rematch between these two because it's not Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree. So are they allowed to have a rematch between these two?
6, Sean. 6.
It's a lot, man.
He hates me. Triple H hates me to do this to me. I have to review this show 3 times in a week, Sean. 3 times.
I've got an idea. Has anyone else in the division considered getting serious? Because Finn Balor got serious, and now he gets a world title shot. And Otis and Tozawa, despite having not teamed on Raw since 2024, also have a title, I assume, a title shot after getting serious.
That's all you need.
I love that that's the natural course of action. It's like, I know I've been clowning around for a long time. I mean, maybe Finn Balor beat Cody Rhodes on WWE 2K25 while he was playing backstage because...
No, I think he lost because he was mad about that.
That's why Liv was like, you got to get serious. She didn't mean about the Punk thing. Like, that's just really ambitious of him. She meant, like, you better stop losing at this game. You're messing up my VC on here. And you better not save over my shit.
She's gonna save over all of the creator wrestlers that he's downloaded and everything. That's where he's mad. He's like, I downloaded Gallows and Anderson and everybody, and like make sure they don't get erased.
It's got Scott D'Amore and the Bullet Club shirt on there.
Yeah.
We need Yoda Tsuji to just be the board of directors for WWE. He said, none of this attack me and get a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. We need him to have that type of authority on Monday Night Raw.
I'm all for the Yoda Tsuji being the guy that makes sense in pro wrestling. He said, let's clean up this title lineage shit too. Let's get this in order. Like, is there any reason why the current World Heavyweight Championship should not be tied to the big gold belt? It is literally a little gold belt with the logo in the middle of it. Why was the cruiserweight title that they brought back with 205 Live not tied to the WCW version? Huh? I don't understand it. Like, just
don't care.
Why do the tag team titles that were instituted in like 73 not exist anymore? You can't make some sense of that and just say, yeah, actually, we brought those back at one point. It's fake. You can do whatever you want.
Remember when they tried to do that when Triple H first took over? It was like, oh, we're gonna bring back all this stuff and we're gonna place importance on these championships and everything. And then they stopped caring because reasons.
When there's an ID championship and an Evolve championship, but all the ID people compete
and neither of them
Evolve,
get defended.
And then the ID Women's Champion loses in 3 minutes on Evolve last week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the ID championship, so stupid.
Cappuccino Jones doesn't even show off his ID champion. He was on a backstage segment on Evolve. He doesn't even carry around the title.
No one knows he's the champion. The first champion never defended it, and then she had to vacate it, and then her contract wasn't renewed.
Like, of all the things like on screen, there's plenty of stuff off screen that is, made me frustrated, and of course, like, reduce my enjoyment of wrestling for other reasons. But from an on-screen perspective, I gotta say, like, the championships have reduced my enjoyment of pro wrestling significantly. And somebody posted a list of all of them across WWE, NXT, ROH, and AEW. I'd get rid of like 12 of them. Like 12. It's insane, man. And I'll have people occasionally be like, well, they need a cruiserweight or junior heavyweight. No, they don't. What
they should do is unify them. But when they need to ununify them, they can do that.
Do a tournament.
One can be the junior title, one can be the heavyweight title, and then
unify them to the junior heavyweight. But then if like a heavyweight wins, then they just do a heavyweight, and then the junior champion will still be the junior champion. Yeah, I think that's how it should work.
Somebody says WWE ID championships are only for indie shows. It should be on TV, though. I mean, why can't the Evolve Championship just be that? Or why does the Evolve... I don't care.
The Evolve Champion's challenging for the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah.
And in AEW, every champion challenges for another title. Like,
yeah.
I get the feeling there might be a title change this week, guys.
The AEW World Title on Wednesday.
I think there's going to be a title change this week, over the next week.
Should be.
Which promotion? I think there is two. I won't
There's
say
enough
which one.
titles.
Yeah.
I don't think the match has been announced yet.
Oh, okay. I think there's gonna be one where the match has been announced. So
Which one?
I think
I think there's going to be multiple title changes this week.
I think there will be a title change on the TNA AMC premiere.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's
Same.
going to be at least 3 now that I think of it. I'm thinking there's probably going to be at least 3 title changes this week. Clip this, run it, maybe on Friday's show.
Yeah, I think there's going to be multiple on that show.
You did last when you were here last Tuesday. You definitely did spoil that Blake Monroe versus DIL was not going to happen. So
Sure did.
I would take Sean's word on this.
I would
Oh,
take
yeah, let's
Sean's
take
word
Sean's
that there was an AEW signing that I'm going to report today too, and one so far out of left field that people will not have any clue. Some people won't know who it is, but like I was like, oh,
Is
they've
this-
been signed for like 2 months?
Oh, they've been signed for 2. Do I know about this one? Have you told me about this one?
Oh, I should. Here, I'll put it in the private chat, and
Okay.
you will be like, really?
Okay. Yeah, you've told me a few of them. So. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Congratulations to Monty Brown. Finally got
Yeah,
the deal.
finally. Oh man, you have no idea how hard I pushed. So, like as the Monty Brown Starcast deal was coming together, like Steve K put that deal together, and Steve K knows I'm a big Monty Brown guy. Dream interview, lots of stuff like that. I pushed so hard for everybody in AEW to get him on all in some capacity. I honestly feel like Jeff Jarrett just running out there, putting himself on the show with Karen Jarrett, and then out comes Willow Nightingale, and she brings Monty Brown with her, and they both pounce the Jarretts. How is that not a perfect TV moment?
Well, the problem is, one, it's great. The problem is you're not Brian Alvarez, and so you can't get this stuff booked.
So I found out what happened with the MJF Jeff Jarrett storyline, and I'm gonna write a Fightful Select story about what all happened. I've got to travel in like maybe a week and a half, so I'll probably set it up for a day that I'm not in the office. That way, we've got a story. But yeah, I found out, and I will publish the story. There's been a definite increase in people that are excited to find out things that didn't happen and why they didn't happen. So
I
had somebody tell me why the Roman Brock Lesnar match at Mania, the winner take all, why it sucked so bad. And I was like, well, they covered that up pretty well. I'll work on a story on that too.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
it is a legitimate reason. It is a pretty legitimate reason why it sucked so bad.
The winner take all match, was that terrible? I don't remember these things.
It wasn't as bad as 34, but it was still bad.
The
Okay.
fact that we have to try to think and remember which of the matches were that terrible.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because I was at 34 when I had a group of friends that left the building, and there was a section in New Orleans in the Superdome that left as Roman and Brock was starting, and then I just remember Brock having to hit like 6 F5s and then busting Roman open, and then I remember the WrestleMania 34 documentary they did with Brock throwing the title at Vince. So yeah.
4.58 on Cage Match.
For the winner take all or 34.
The WrestleMania in 2022. So
Okay.
Yeah, that's 38.
So the
winner take all.
Okay.
it's a winner take all.
That's
Pat
probably their
McAfee
highest
versus
rated
Vince
match.
McMahon, a 0.55.
That's high.
That's the only reason why like someone like Jeremy will not remember that match was bad is because there was a worse match on that card.
I love that
And
match.
Ridge Holland and Sheamus against New Day got a 1.16 because it went 1 minute and 43 seconds.
No recollection of that happening.
So somebody brought up a great idea. I'll probably do it this weekend, my first SRS 10 episode. where I like do a watch along of like matches I've rated out of 10. Someone said I need to do SRS 0 as well.
Ooh.
And I'm like,
we already do this.
That's worse of the weeds.
Yeah, that's worse of the week.
Don't care.
We already do this.
Don't care. Not
Come on
happening.
now.
Sorry, you got to get that viewership up.
I still have to do a show for Select and I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, you should put something together.
Well, I asked for pitches online and, people threw out some ideas. Some were good, some were not so good.
Someone did pitch
Should
worse
be
of the
you
weeds.
talking about media ethics.
I actually don't mind that. I think that'd be kind of fun. I don't know how well it would do, but
It wouldn't draw worth a shit.
yeah. I think it'd be
Trying to give
fun
added
to like
value,
I think it'd be fun. I don't think anything I do is gonna draw worth all that much anyway, but I think it'd be fun to like talk about the media in other sports and like how it works and what they're talking about. But that it's
Sure.
like too inside or something. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta figure something out. Maybe I'll do something.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Somebody said review Raw from 2016, since that's when Fightful launched. So review like wrestling, which would just be
Not, you know what?
Raw.
I kind of like the idea of doing that. I've seen that Alvarez will review TNA from like 20 years ago or something. I like the idea of doing that from 10 years prior,
Yeah.
or even further back. Like I'd be good with you doing just a retro review
All right. I might do
or retro
review.
watch along. I don't give a
That's
damn.
fine. I don't like doing watch along.
No.
That takes too much time because then it's like 2 hours and stuff, and I don't want to do a watch along. I'll do a review. I think that's more my speed. Then I can wrap it up in like an hour if that
The
makes
guy who does 8 podcasts a week is like, I don't know if I have enough time.
that I don't, because I do 8 podcasts a week.
That's also why.
I do 8 podcasts a week. I do all the news writing. I do basketball writing as well.
Who made you do 8 podcasts a week? Who is
Me.
cracking the whip and saying you got to do the spotlight every single week, Jeremy?
Jensen enjoys
Jensen.
doing it, and so I don't want to take it from him. I
I already
like
took the
doing
weekender from him.
Yeah.
And that was a good show.
I genuinely enjoy doing this show. We get to interview people like Eddie Kingston and Ikuro Kwon, so that's always
How the hell that
fun.
happen, by the way? How'd that come about?
BRCW, actually. You were
Okay.
in on you were in on some of the emails, and they
Okay, so I like that you were like, how about Eddie Kingston for an hour?
yeah, legitimately. Yeah. That was you saw the emails, Sean. They were like, who do you want? Here's the list of people, and I'm like, Eddie Kingston. Like, why am I
Yeah.
not gonna
Okay,
shoot
I
for
wanna
Eddie
say this.
Kingston?
People who are working BRCW are certainly getting paid enough to happily do an hour on In the Weeds. I mean, MJF was very transparent. During our interview, he goes, "Yeah, I don't care to tell you, I made 35 grand working there." So,
Damn.
Yeah, they sent
you
the
go.
talent list, and I'm like, I said Eddie Kingston and Ortiz, and they're like, all right, let's see what we can do. And they said, okay, you have Eddie. And then when we showed up, we were like, how long do you have? And he's like, oh, I got an hour. And we're like, oh, all right. We thought like 20 minutes.
an
or
hour with
something.
him.
Yeah.
I love Eddie Kingston. I love
Oh,
Eddie
he was
Kingston. Like,
great.
he's the realest dude ever. Like, he had posted something because he wasn't thrilled with me reporting about like the Osprey pitching to lose to Swerve thing, or maybe it was Hangman's. I can't remember. All these people in AEW want to lose, but
Dorks.
he had posted a thing that was like, "We know which one of you leaked that, you stooge." And I'm like, man, source guessing is always wrong, man. And like these days, it's Will gets blamed for everything because he used to work with us. And I'm like, guys, he'd be the most obvious one. This is why I don't ask him, Shane Helms, anything. They were on camera with me. But when Eddie reached back out, he's like, hey, I'm going to be real. I don't know shit about that. He's like, I was just trying to get somebody.
We brought up the Wrestle Oops post that was like, "Oh, Sean Ross Sapp is in Eddie Kingston's house looking for scoops or something," and we brought that up with him. He's like, "Why the fuck would he come in my house? I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm not talking to anybody. Like, I don't want anybody over." He had a very good sense of humor about it. It was
He does.
very
He's
good.
got a great sense of humor. He is like deceptively friendly as well.
Yes.
Like he is always like cordial and stuff. But like, listen, I'll hit him up when he's talking about having to do business, and I'm like, contract, nothing. But like, if it's like some straight up man to man shit, like, hey man, is this true? And I don't think that you've got this part right. But dude is straight up. He is just, and that's what I like. I like people that are real. But
Remind me to tell you about our off-air conversation with Eddie Kingston
Okay.
when I get a chance.
Also, Wrestle Oops is probably the only good wrestling parody account outside of Kayfabe News I've ever seen. I would go as far as to say that.
Right?
Yes.
They just do jokes instead of like
do
a bunch of
lying.
fake news stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
lying. Yeah.
Instead of just lying, you can tell they're jokes and they're funny. Fooling people, I'm just like, okay, because a ton of the wrestlers fall for that type of stuff that goes out there. A bunch of websites does, but Wrestle Oops is very, very funny. And listen, can't be that mad at them parodying Wrestle Ops, since Wrestle Ops just straight up took Wrestle Features' entire aesthetics and then, you know, which I will say this. Wrestle Ops actually reached out to me a number of months ago and said they were trying to do better with what they did and crediting people. And good. Listen, if you want to get me to go on a Lynn Jones rant, it's about how aggregation is handled, buddy. Because once you're the one doing the work, Jeremy knows this as well. SP3 knows this as well. Once it's your work, I say this especially with SI people. I'm like, guys, they're not making like six figures to work at SI. Like they're getting paid based on some of the traffic that they draw in. Link to their shit, please. I don't know.
Thankfully, a lot of the tags I got for the Mystico interview, a lot of them had the link in the thread at least. So I thank them.
Did Jeremy tell you that Luis did not realize it was you because it was your shoot name on there? And then he realized
I get that all the time. I can't
Yeah.
tell you how many people have said, I read your thing on SI and I did not realize it was you because it said Sinful on the third. I was like, SP3. Like, how do y'all not get that?
I'll get it with my initials. I'll have people spell my name SHAWN. And I was like, you've known me for years. And they're like, well, I just call you SRS. You're in my phone as SRS. So thanks. Sending out an SRS. See you guys later.
Bye, Sean.
See you, Sean.
He's so proud of that, sending out an SRS. Tony was so happy when he did that. What else happened on Raw?
The
possibly
number one
care?
contender
Oh,
for the
yeah.
Women's Tag Team Championship, because they can actually have people wrestle a match to get a title shot. Wow, look at that. What an interesting
Novel
scenario.
concept.
Novel. We had to get through a promo train to get to it, but still, I don't think the women's triple threat was good. Decent enough matchup. It was a little bit clunky early on, but they got it together by the end, started hitting their big moves and popping the crowd in Germany. And in the end, it was Liv and Roxanne who pick up the victory, and I expect them to have a really good matchup with Rio at Saturday night's main event. We now have a second match for Saturday night's main event, which is a week from this Saturday, guys. 2 matches on that card already.
That's more than people announced for the Royal Rumble. So
Yeah, I mean, true, but we still know 2 matches for the Royal Rumble. No, we know 3 matches for the Royal Rumble.
there's no participants in the Royal Rumble.
It could be a surprise, guys. We got to get through Saturday night's main event, guys.
Man,
their schedule is weird.
I actually would respect if they're like, you know what, 30-person Royal Rumble, no entry. You're not going to know any of the entrants. Just here we go. Nothing but surprises the whole time. I would actually respect that. But
I would pop for that. Didn't
Yeah,
they? They only did that like with what was that? December. I just always remember December to Remember, or no, December to Dismember, where they only announced
Yeah,
two
everyone
matches for
hated
the whole
that.
card, and then
Yeah.
and then it was like an 8-match card.
yeah, everyone hated that, but I thought it was hilarious.
Me too. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Liv and Roxanne win. They will face Rhea and Io at Saturday night's main event. As you mentioned, there was the opening segment with Rhea and Io, and then the parade of challengers came out. Raquel beat up Stephanie Vaquer again.
Why is this still going on? And
They gotta do a singles match.
They made Stephanie look like a dummy. She starts cutting her promo into the camera, and then Raquel goes.
Yeah, like turns her back on Raquel. Like Raquel was out there first. I was like, why? Why is she out here to like just do a promo in front of the camera at the entranceway when Raquel is standing right there? This makes no sense.
It's like, I mean, they could at least had like Michael Cole like interview her. Like Raquel is off, so Michael Cole, let's interview Stephanie Vaquer. No, Michael Cole had to get his ass back to the announce table. So then it's just left that whole situation where she's cutting the promo in the camera and then just gets jumped from behind. I was like, well, you were stupid for that. That sounds like you were stupid. And then another attack on her leg, and they're probably not. This is going to be another attack that doesn't write her off again because they don't know. It's basically it seems like a day-to-day injury where they don't know when they're going to pull the trigger on actually doing the matchup between Vaquer and Rodriguez. And I don't want to see that matchup. It don't matter how many times Raquel attacks her. I've seen that match twice, and it wasn't good either time. So I don't want to see the match anymore. Why is Stephanie Vaquer been champion since September and she can only verse 2 people for the title? The Raw Women's Division is the best women's division on American television, yet she can only face 2 people?
Everyone is part of the tag team division. SP3, that's it.
But
Everyone's part of the tag team division.
Why do you have to handicap both singles titles on Monday Night Raw to make the tag team division be better?
I don't have a good answer for you. It's because the tag team division is just, in case you've been living under a rock, it's hot right now. It's on fire.
I saw somebody try to give Triple H credit. I saw somebody try to give Triple H credit on social media, like, oh, one thing about Triple H, he's making me care about this division. Yeah, it only took him like 4 tries over the last 3 years, and him handicapping the 2 singles title pictures at the same time.
Yeah, he's making me care about this division by putting all of the talent in this division, so there's nothing left for the singles champions, so you don't care. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Like, we'll have you not care about the women's titles, the main women's titles, but you will care about the women's tag team titles. Javon Evans beat Bravo Americano. Okay.
Fine.
We do have a super chat. We do have a super chat from Josh, who sent us a few today. We will get to them, Josh. This one is timely. He says, this merits a super chat. Javon as the new Ricochet is crazy talk. He is going to be mega campeon. That's like winning the speed title, so that's on the level of Ricochet.
Ricochet, they just would have gave him a Prince Puma hat, Prince Puma mask, and then made him the AAA mega campeon if he was still with the company.
Yeah, I don't think winning the mega championship is like a high praise here as where they think of him. Look, do I think Javon will eventually get to a higher level? Yes. They clearly see something in him. They don't put him on this featured this early if they don't think highly of the guy. They'd keep him in NXT for 5 years like they do Tony D'Angelo if they saw nothing in him. They clearly see something in him. But it's probably going to be a while because they don't know how to move talent up that quickly. you got to keep riding the 40-year-olds until their time is done. So Javon will be a future champion at some point. When?
Eventually.
I don't know. 15 years from now, maybe, give or take.
Give or
What just
take.
happened? Why did we get moved down?
I have no idea what happened.
How that happen?
I
Oh,
have no idea.
all right. I moved it back. I didn't know that could happen. That we could just like randomly get moved down like that. All right. Anything else from Raw? SP3?
I think that is everything from the show. I'm trying to think real quick. No, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
All
it.
right, what was
we do need to talk about our rolling ticker.
Oh, we will. What? But first, what was your moment of Monday?
My moment of Monday was Gunther versus AJ Styles, an excellent first time ever matchup that left a lot of meat on the bone for a rematch, which hopefully happens sometime in the future before WrestleMania.
My moment of Monday was Otis and Tozawa wanting a title shot, despite the fact that they have not won in like 5 years. That they could just come in and ask for a title shot, and Jay's like, all right, let me call my brother and see if this checks out. Hilarious WWE booking. Just hilarious booking from them. That they, of all things, would go, who do we have in the division? Otis and Tozawa. Here we go. These are the guys.
It's their turn.
Absolutely hilarious. Another super chat from Josh here, who says, to all the Joe Test haters, Michael Cole was atrocious yesterday. I don't pay enough attention to Michael Cole, but was he atrocious?
He wasn't good. I don't know if I would call him atrocious. I mean, Michael Cole has not been that great since like 2024.
Yeah. He was really good when Triple H first took over. It's like, oh, Michael Cole unleashed, and then much like WWE and Triple H, it became like, all right, we get it, we understand all these things. Can you do something different?
I think much like you, I don't really pay attention all that much. Ever since he had that decline back to Michael Cole of the 2020s, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna really listen or pay any mind. I listen to Corey most of the time. Corey's decent.
If it ain't Bryan Danielson, I'm probably not paying attention to commentary. I'm sorry. I'm just
also, and look, that's what you should do if you're listening to AEW commentary, because Tony Schiavone is on an all-timer run of just awfulness.
And Booker T, because Booker T like forces you to pay attention to him, just with
and he's
by
ridiculous.
being loud,
Raise
and it rules.
your hands from side to side and say, "What you doing?"
Those are the only two commentators that I pay attention to. And look, that's a detriment on me, because maybe the commentary says something important. I just don't listen to them because they're not Bryan Danielson or Booker T. Bryan Danielson will say important stuff. Booker T won't. He's Booker T. Oh yeah, man. Favorite. Wrestling Observer reported today that the planned potential match for WrestleMania between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes is potentially scrapped. Dave said WrestleMania changed on Wednesday of last week, which was when they made the decision to go with the McIntyre title win. So it wasn't decided until Wednesday. I don't know what the new matches are, although they may be doing a three-way with McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, and Cody Rhodes. That may not necessarily be at Mania. That's not even 100%, but I was told that's kind of a possibility. The Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns thing is probably not happening. And then he reiterated that Mania plans were changed on Wednesday. So people thought, it was reported, it was penciled in, it was planned, it was whatever you want to say, that it was going to be Roman and Cody 3. And now that doesn't look like it is the case, if you're Triple H, SP3, what are you booking for WrestleMania for Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes?
I mean, if I'm Triple H, I'm doing Roman and Punk, and I maybe I do the 3-way that's suggested in that report of Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre in there with Cody, or I would do probably Cody and Bron Breakker. I don't necessarily need Cody Rhodes in the title picture, honestly. They could do Cody and Randy Orton without a title. I think that would be a good program to do at WrestleMania. But I think that you are foolish, naive, or just a complete idiot if you think that Roman Reigns is not going to be in a world championship matchup at WrestleMania. Like that, like just because this report came out does not mean that now Roman Reigns is not going to be in a world championship matchup. Regardless of if he's in a world championship match or not, Roman Reigns is headlining one of these nights of WrestleMania. So I might as well make it for a world championship. Unless you want to devalue the world title like last year at WrestleMania when it was the opening matchup of the 2-night event. Like that undermined the world title, and thus why Jey Uso had no shot within hell to get to have a good world championship reign, is because he's kicked off the show as world champion. The last time that happened, it led to Edge kind of retiring the following week. Well, that had to do with his neck injury, but also probably had to do with him opening up as world champion of a WrestleMania card. Like anytime that's happened, it just undermines the world championship majorly. So let's headline both nights of WrestleMania with world title matches. And no, Cody versus Roman 3 doesn't need to have a title. That is not the right way to think. Cody versus Roman 3 doesn't need to happen. So I am happy to hear this news. I said this from the get-go. When that first report came out that they were doing Cody versus Roman 3, I was like, I don't know anyone on this earth that wants to see that match a third time right now. Like maybe down the road, maybe when Cody turns heel. He wants the key word to what I said is he wants it to happen. There are people that will say, I don't mind if it doesn't happen, but they are not saying I want this to happen. Nobody wants this to happen.
I'll ask him right now.
They probably don't mind.
I'll see what he says.
They don't mind it, but no one wants that to happen again at this point when both of their characters are just in a state of either being stale or not here.
I just texted Jensen. I'll see what he says. I said, do you want Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns to happen? I'll see what he says. Yeah, I'm in the boat of like, if it happens, sure, whatever. Like there's enough history to play off of. Like, you can do it. And I'm not like mad at it because I get mad about many things. But also there's just better options out there to where like I don't necessarily need it to happen. I've said it for over a year now. You gotta do Roman and Punk at some point, and you should probably do it sooner rather than later, just because who knows if a guy's gonna get hurt? Who knows what Roman wants to do on a day-to-day basis when it comes to this stuff? Like you need to do it when you have the opportunity to do it. And they had the opportunity. So I would probably do that match. As far as Cody, him getting killed by Obafemi, I think that would be good. Non-title, just Cody Rhodes, open challenge, and Obafemi just beats him.
I'll be honest. Nothing what I saw in Saturday night's main event wants me to see Cody versus Oba again. I'm sorry. I know. It wasn't designed to be a good matchup. Yeah. That would be fine. That's what we should have got at Saturday night's main event. I don't want to see it now if it's not for a world title.
All right, Jensen has gotten back to me. He said, I'd rather than do Cody versus Punk. So there you go. Not even Steven Jensen wants this match. Steven Jensen's all for anything Cody, and he's like, I don't even want this thing. Your point about Roman and being in a title match and everything, Roman gave y'all last year. He still headlines one of the nights. He gave y'all last year. He gave y'all last year of not being in the title picture. You get one. You ain't getting 2 straight years of Roman not being in the title picture.
That's just foolish to think that is. I know it's mostly like wishful thinking from fans who are over Roman being, but Roman's gonna be in a world title matchup. If he's not in a world title matchup, Roman's gonna be in the WrestleMania main event. So it might as well be for a world title. So like let's stop that foolishness. Don't miss me with all that BS. I think the best case scenario that I said after SmackDown, Drew winning was the right call by WWE. They needed something to get out of this stale status quo that was over on SmackDown, and that did it. And now the road to WrestleMania is a lot more unpredictable. I think the best case scenario is Drew gets hot as champion and they run Roman, Drew, Cody. Triple threat for the WWE Championship.
All right. And then Punk and Braun?
Punk and Braun, which was the original plan as well. But I'm not too enthused on that either because you just did that. Like, I don't like when WWE runs their WrestleMania match within months of WrestleMania.
We'll get ready for Becky and Maxxine at WrestleMania.
AJ Lee return is what I need to get out of this loop of Maxxine Dupri matches. Please. I saw some people. I had to call people out. Shout out to the Wrestling Republic. They did a blind ranking of WWE stars, and I had to comment in the chat because they put Maxxine as a C tier. I was like, in what world is Maxxine Dupri, the worst women's wrestler on Monday Night Raw, a C tier when you have a D and an F tier?
It was blind ranking though, so does that mean they only get? I don't know how blind ranking with the tiers work. Yeah, the GOAT is here.
You want to say hi? Look who's on there. Look who it is.
Hi, Harlem. Oh, look at that. I'm over in Harlem's world.
She don't even need me to cue her up.
Yeah.
I was like, look who it is. She's like, Jared.
Oh, she got balloons?
No, she got some ball that's connected to. All right, there you go. Jeremy.
The legend made a cameo. We booked yesterday, SP3. Maxxine versus Jade Cargill versus Zelina Vega. Tell me.
I think I overheard that.
That can't be the greatest match of all time.
I want to poke my eyes out if I actually had to watch that and then review it the next day.
Wait, we'd review that and we'd do a live watch along of that match. Honestly,
we know this is gonna be worse than the week.
yeah. We do a live watch along of that. All right, King Potato, I'll give you credit. Damn, calm down. I don't remember who books these things. We're a collective unit here on the show.
Yeah. You know, you come up with the idea and then we'll run with it. We'll push it.
People know how bad my memory is, or at least how bad I say it is. Here's an example of how bad it is. We ordered pizza the other day. We had cheese pizza and pepperoni pizza, right? And I asked my wife, I'm like, oh, what do you want? Do you want the cheese or the pepperoni? I'll go get it for you. I go out there. I did something else. I grabbed something and I walked over to the pizza and I'm like, which one did she want? And I sent one of the kids back. I was like, go ask your mom if she wanted cheese or pepperoni pizza. She told me her answer 30 seconds prior, and I forgot if she wanted cheese or pepperoni in 30 seconds. That's how bad my memory is, to where I had to send one of the kids back there to be like, go ask her. I have no memory, folks. I can't remember what happened 30 seconds ago.
Happens,
so I definitely don't remember.
The best of us, especially when you hit like 35. 35, it's over. It's over. You're battling.
I'll give you credit, King Potato. I just can't remember who says these things. I got no problem giving people credit when it's deserved. You know, like
exactly.
Especially when it's a great idea like that. That's not a shitty idea. It's one of the greatest ideas I've ever heard. All right, I would do Roman and Punk as well. I think you have to do that at some point, and again, sooner rather than later. Cody and I'd have him get squashed by Oba. Who cares? Make Oba Cody's fine. It'll be okay. I don't want them to. Cody and Randy doesn't do anything for me. What's?
Hey, you don't need a title for Cody and Randy though.
No,
if
you don't.
If you don't want Cody to be in the title picture, or you turn. I don't think they're gonna turn him heel because they don't have another white meat babyface on Cody's level. But I think they've moved on from white meat babyface. They got 3 good years out of Cody as a white meat babyface. I think that's enough. That's your cap.
They're gonna do Cody and Randy's gonna like just stare off. And Cody's going to be like, what are you looking at? And Randy's going to be like, I'm looking at your dad up in heaven. And Cody's going to be like, oh, okay. And that's the whole basis of the feud. That's it. That's all I got for you.
I'm doing this for him. And then he smacks Cody. He's been possessed. He's like,
oh. Could you imagine Randy Orton cutting Dusty Rhodes promos? That would be amazing, actually. Randy doing.
Oh, did Jeremy freeze or am I frozen? Y'all let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, what was?
Yeah, okay. It was you.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, Randy cutting Dusty Rhodes promos, just like shaking. I can't do a Dusty impression, but.
Hey, baby, we're gonna get some plunder, and we're gonna get some plunder in the Las Vegas, and we're gonna have a good old time. We're gonna get some hard times up in here, baby.
Can you say hit you with the 3 most dangerous letters, RKO, but in the Dusty voice?
I swear I'm gonna hit you with the 3 most dangerous letters in the game, Cody. It's R, it's a K, and it's a O.
That's good. I want that. I want Randy Orton possessed by Dusty Rhodes just cutting promos like Dusty. This sounds amazing.
So I need this now. We booked this. Any idea that we come up with, it's always like, okay, we need this to happen, and we're gonna be upset if it doesn't.
Yeah. Like, there's a world where The Rock he's like, what are we doing for WrestleMania? I don't know. You keep changing these plans. Let me show you how to change some plans around here. Roman makes the call. He's like, Dwayne, they got me facing Bron Breakker. They want me to face Bron Breakker. I like Bron. Good kid. But no title? Just that's what I'm facing, Bron Breakker? Make a call. Dwayne comes back and we get Rock and Roman finally.
That's perfect.
They got me teaming with the Usos against Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory. That's Paul's idea. That's what he wants to do. No. You gotta make a call. Yeah.
Say you want to steal Cody's soul again. Just make the call.
Say we got unfinished business. Come on now. Could you imagine if that was the pitch to Roman? Roman, here's out. You're gonna team with the Usos. You're gonna continue the feud with Paul Heyman.
He's like, no.
He
just immediately. He doesn't need to hear the rest. He's like, no. I said I wasn't gonna see them until Christmas, and y'all made me come back for War Games.
Yeah, he just shuts it down right as you're gonna team with the Usos. Like, is this we doing Crown Jewel? Is this where I'm teaming with them? It's like, no, WrestleMania. I think you mean on Raw? I'll team with them on Raw.
He looks at Heyman. He's like, you hear this guy?
Yeah. Zeno's saying Cody and Ricky Saints. I thought about that, but it's not New Orleans. It's just Vegas. So New Orleans, like, I can get behind it a little bit. I don't think Ricky's coming up anytime soon, so I don't think they're gonna. Really
they need him. Sheesh. Davion mentioned it in the chat. Oh my god, that was one of my favorite bits I've ever done on True Hill Heat, was going through all the call up reports that was last week. I went from Oba vacating the title and getting called up to Blake Monroe and JC Jade reports of them getting called up, but now it's like in flux. And then literally Top Guy JJ goes, man, he's like, what are they gonna do on NXT if Blake and JC gets called up? You know, they gotta put the title on someone like a Lola Vice. And I was like, well, funny you say that, because Lola Vice has got a report as well. She's getting called up. It was one of my favorite segues to a new story that I've ever done.
What are they gonna do with the NXT title tonight? What's your prediction for how the NXT title situation gets handled?
6-way ladder match for the title at Vengeance Day.
Right,
And we're gonna get qualifying matches over the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, Tony D'Angelo, and then they're gonna have to get TNA and Lucha Libre AAA talent like Leon Slater. They'll get El Hijo del Vikingo and Dr. Wagner Jr.
They're probably gonna do a ladder match. They should do something different. I like Ava being like, throw out your suggestions, give me the craziest ideas ever. And it's like, you're not going to use any of these. TNA asking for responses here just to not do any of it. You can do a ladder match.
Santino Marella is going to come out and be like, I want to challenge for the NXT championship. The one title that has eluded me my entire career.
It should be a heist. Someone should just take the title, and then you have to just get it back. And then whoever... Well, yeah, you know, I'm all for Dark State having it. Whoever has the title at Vengeance Day, so it's a month-long heist. Whoever has the title at Vengeance Day is the rightful champion. That's what I would do. I don't think they're going to do this. I'd actually be very surprised if they did this. NXT Elimination Chamber.
Ooh.
I don't think they're going to do it, but they haven't done an NXT Elimination Chamber, right? They've never done that before. Yeah. So, you know, Shawn Michaels won the first Elimination Chamber. There's something, might be something there. I think it's just going to be a ladder match. I'm with you.
Yeah, they're just going to do a ladder match. That's what they do every single time a new champion, a title has been vacated and they need to crown a new champion. The two easiest options is ladder match or a tournament.
Yeah. All right. You have to do Raw review in 15 minutes, don't you?
Like 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So. All right. Let's get out of here. Then, what did we accomplish today, SP3?
We accomplished a lot. We had a great talk with Ikuro Kwon. Got to talk some New York chat. We found out that he's a basketball fan, a Knicks fan, but I didn't hold that against him. And we talked some hoops. We talked about the NBA, the pitiful state of my Los Angeles Lakers being held hostage by a 40-year-old malcontent. But we also talked about last night's Monday Night Raw with the great Gunther and AJ Styles matchup. And of course, we came up with the best idea ever for WrestleMania. Randy Orton possessed by Dusty Rhodes going up against Cody Rhodes.
I think the biggest thing we accomplished today is ballet is not pro wrestling, and you can get injured just as severely in ballet as you can pro wrestling. As you know, I was saying NXT. We talked about the title situation. Nothing else happens on this show.
Nothing else matters. You care about Joe Hendry and Dion Lennox. No, newsflash, no one else does.
No, I mean, I like Dark State, so I care a little bit, but...
Yeah, you're committed to the bit. It's okay. Anyway,
if nothing else, I'm committed to the bit. Everyone knows that. Results of our poll question: who should Roman Reigns face at WrestleMania? We have, or who do you want Roman Reigns to face at WrestleMania? We have 13% for Cody Rhodes. We have 17% at Drew McIntyre, 27% at CM Punk, and 44% at Bron Breakker, which really means The Rock, because if Roman gets tasked with Bron Breakker, he's going to be like, make a call, Dwayne. Dwayne's like, I lost out on the Golden Globe. I didn't get nominated for an Oscar. You know where they love me? You know where I'm well liked at, and I could just flip things on a dime here. Let me head back to old WWE. Let me swing the dick around Triple H and get him out of here.
He should be happy he didn't get nominated for those, because Michael B. Jordan needs to win everything for Sinners. I just watched Sinners. Best movie I've seen in like years.
He didn't win the Golden Globe for Sinners.
Yeah, because they're racist. I'll say it. They are. Like, how did he not win? He played two different roles. He played one character that went from a human to something else. I won't ruin the movie for people who haven't seen it, but man, that movie was amazing.
Yeah, I've not seen Sinners. I want to. That's on my list. Like a lot of things are on my list, but I do want to watch Sinners because I've heard very good things. All right, folks. SP3, let them know where they can find you at.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I'll be live in about 15 minutes over with Top Guy JJ to review last night's Monday Night Raw. And let's see who crashes out this week after JJ nearly punched his camera into a different setting completely. He turned a different color. It was crazy. So let's see who crashes out over Becky Lynch and Maxxine Dupri 6 coming up next week. Join us live on Rated Raw Review on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. And I think that's all. I think I might be doing a preview for TNA Genesis tomorrow. I'll talk to Joel Pearl, see if he's available tomorrow. So it'll be like a TNA Genesis and TNA AMC premiere preview at the same time. So join us.
That sounds terrible. Not you and Joel. Well,
the main reason I have to do it. The main reason I have to do it tomorrow, I can't do it on Friday because I will be at SmackDown in London at the Wembley Arena. I mean, it's a live show, and WWE's and SmackDown's been on a roll. SmackDown is 2 for 2 in 2026, so I'm hoping they don't let me down, but I'll probably be let down by going there live. But I'll be live at SmackDown. So if you're in the UK, you're going to Wembley Arena on Friday, say hi.
Oh shit, Josh, I apologize. I missed this. Good morning. Well, we're in all afternoon now, I have to say. But first, the Panthers didn't give up like John Cena. Yeah, Carolina showed some fight. Promising future. I think they're picking up Bryce's 5th-year option. Got to address the defense, but we played the Rams tough. Should have won. Could have won. Unfortunately, didn't win. It's a shame the last 2 the playoff games sucked because the first 4 were excellent, fantastic games. The last 2 kind of sucked. Looking forward to more playoff football this weekend. All right, we'll be back tomorrow.
I will be reviewing the Power Force finale, and I'm thinking about reviewing Traders UK because I've been loving that so far. So to answer Jose, who asked me what non-wrestling shows I plan on reviewing in the future.
We'll be back tomorrow. Myself and Joel Pearl talking about NXT, I guess. Yeah. Hopefully something relevant happens elsewhere in wrestling so we don't have to talk about NXT. Until then, folks, we appreciate everybody. Thank you for the love, support, super chats, all that fun stuff. We will talk to everyone tomorrow.